Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Ko'olina Golf Club on the island of Oahu, it's final round coverage of the Lotte Championship presented by Hershey. A look from above at the Ko'olina Resort and Marina, famed for the 4 lagoons. Folks sitting out on the beach, enjoying the water sports, getting out onto the ocean here, which is always popular in Hawaii. We're at the Ko'olina Golf Club hosting the Lotte Championship for the 4th time. Plenty of folks coming out to watch today, many of them watching Michelle Wie, who is the defending champion here. But the big story, I suppose, apart from the trials and tribulations of that final group, the weather, which is going to play a big part in this final round. Much like it's been over the first 3 days, windy but sunny, temperatures in the 80s. I think today, though, the wind, as strong as it's been, maybe even stronger than we've seen all week. We've heard from myself, Tom Abbott, Kate Cockrell alongside me. Mark Rolfing is here with us, Jerry Foltz and Karen Stupples out on the golf course. We can go to the tee at the 4th, and here is the final group. And before they hit, let's meet the final 3 players in our final group today.
Hi, my name is Inbi Park. I'm from South Korea and I have 13 wins on the LPGA Tour.
Hi, I'm IK Kim and I'm from South Korea and I have 3 wins on LPGA Tour.
Hi, my name is Seon Kim. I'm from South Korea. I won Pure Bahama tournament this year.
So an all South Korean 3-ball to play in that final group. 17 wins combined, majority of which come from Inbi Park. And Jerry Foltz is out there following this final group for us today.
Tom, you speculated on the wind being stronger than all of the previous days this week. No question about it. It was the talk on the range amongst all the players and caddies. It is just brutal out here right now.
Jerry, the golf course right now is playing over a shot and a half harder than it did yesterday.
Not surprising. Well, it's just not easy at all. You never hit a stock shot. You're trying to create something on every single shot. It's a whole different game. You got to, number one, as Mark stated yesterday, first and foremost, hit the ball solidly. Secondly, when you're hitting into the wind, hit it easy so it doesn't get too much spin. But always just remember which side of the green is going to save you, or which side of the fairway you're going to have a chance from, because the ball is going to do some funny things in the air. This is 7-iron for IK Kim as a huge gust picks up right at the moment. I'll be surprised if she doesn't step away, although this group is already out of position.
Jerry, I think at this point you just have to play for the miss and just guard against an exaggeratedly missed shot and just go try to hit it the middle of the green.
This one headed right at the center of the green. No chance to get it to stop.
Let's check in with Michelle Wie at the 6th hole. This is her second. Short of the green, so Michelle Wie struggling there. Even pass so far, a birdie and a bogey to start the round, the rest pass. Back to the 4th and Inbi Park.
Inbi going with 9-iron. Remember, her irons are about a club strong. A number of manufacturers doing that, but hers are quite strong. The number on the bottom doesn't matter, just knowing how far you hit it does. Offing that one pretty high in the air. Might have a chance to stop.
Beautiful shot, and she's banking on the strength of her average green hit and regulation average, which is 81%.
Michelle Wie's 3rd at the 6th hole. Needed a good Saturday round, but it didn't come for Michelle.
No, she had, what, 4 birdies and 5 bogeys?
Back to the 4th. And Se-Young Kim.
Also a 9-iron for Se Young. Leads amongst all the leaders in the tournament. Longest off the tee and lowest putts per green in regulation. A good combo, but today throw that all out the window. She's never won a tournament when leading through 3 rounds in her young career. This has potential here. Nope.
Not a bad leave, though, off the putting surface, but close to the hole location.
Take a look at our tournament summary so far at the Lotte Championship. Rookie Se-Young Kim leading through 54 holes, looking for her 2nd win of the season, having won in the Bahamas. Suzanne Pedersen, the winner here 2 years ago, withdrew prior to Friday's round because of a shoulder injury. And Inbee Park could move to the 2nd spot in the Rolex Women's World Rankings this week. Well, hello everybody and welcome to our coverage of the Lotte Championship. It's going to be a fascinating final day. The conditions, as we mentioned, are going to play a big role in this day. But one of the things I think is going to be interesting is watching that final group, because you've got 3 differing stories from the players in the mix there.
I think it's going to be a battle of survival, both mental and physical survival. And going off of what Jerry Foltz said, Se-Young Kim has not won unless she's the one chasing. That's a position that she's used to and comfortable with, and she acknowledges that she needs to learn how to win when she has the lead. And will it happen today? It didn't happen at the ANA a couple of weeks ago. She shot a 75 that final round, and has said that that's a motivating factor for her to get back in the winner's circle. Inbee Park, obviously with 13 wins and 5 majors, has won every way conceivable. I think she's the one to beat today. She's so steady, so solid. She has the perfect mindset for this game in good weather or bad weather. And then IK Kim is sort of everyone's favorite and hopeful to break through and get back into that winner's circle after not having won since the Lorena Ochoa in 2010. She survived a big test yesterday in round 3, shooting a good score that has given her the chance to get it done today.
Let's go out to the 5th and bring in Mark Rolfe.
Hey, good afternoon, Tom. This is Paula Creamer for a birdie. She really needs one right about now. It has been a tough day for her, as I believe it will be for nearly all of the competitors. Over to 6.
Shall we, trying to save par?
You know it's a tough day when you're looking at long putts for par, Mark.
You know, if I were Michelle Wie right now, I'd take a look at that leaderboard and say, you know what, if I can get to 10 under par, I still have a chance to win. So she is definitely not out of this yet.
This is Jennifer Song at the 16th hole.
Been one of the tougher par 3s on the golf course, 186 yards today.
Oh, wow. Had a little look, didn't it, on the way by?
Gorgeous shot with wind blowing very hard from left to right.
Now back to the 4th, and IK Kim going with the putter from off the green.
Yeah, if she were to pitch it, she'd have to get really cute to try and land it on the green. The wind would probably blow it right in doing so, even though she is putting through 15 feet of fringe at least. Down the slope, but into the breeze. It's going to be a tough one to judge. Most players would leave this short. Fringe is going to eat it up a bit, and that wind is definitely going to be a factor. But you're right, Kay, she is the sentimental favorite amongst LPGA fans, her peers, anybody who knows her, because it just seems so unfair for her career to be defined by a short missed putt at the ANA Inspiration a few years back.
It'd be one thing if she missed that putt trying to win a regular season event, but it was to win her first major.
Beatrice Ricari for a birdie at the 6th.
Hasn't gotten off to a very good start today, but Beatrice is a grinder. No give up in her game.
3 bogeys in the first 4 holes, but back-to-back birdies. Back to number 5.
This is Hyo-Joo Kim for birdie from about 4 feet. And that is a good one there. Any birdie on any one of these holes is an excellent score today. She's got 2 of them thus far, and she is rapidly moving up that leaderboard. Back to 4.
Se-Young Kim had a good tee shot from just off the green though, but good chance for a birdie.
Yeah, pretty good look at it here. 1.5 foot of fringe, a little bit downhill again into the wind. Might go right early.
Jerry, we just showed that final round score that she shot at the ANA, and her front 9, 2 birdies and a double, back 9, 3 birdies, 4 bogeys and a double. So a real roller coaster ride for her.
It wasn't pretty, but the one thing she did do is she stuck to her guns and still tried hitting the shots that were required, even though they weren't cooperating. She doesn't back down.
That will serve her well over the course of her career, and we have to remember she's just beginning her LPGA career.
Sandra Gall on the 8th. She has made the best start so far from those players on the first page of the leaderboard. 3 under for the day through 7 holes. She finds herself only 5 shots back. She started at 3 under and 9 shots behind.
Nice little birdie eagle birdie run. And this 8th hole is a beauty. It's a short par 3, but it is tricky. Yesterday it was a diabolical hole location that was on the left-hand side, bringing the waterfall into play. Today, a relatively much more simple hole location on the right-hand side. Beautiful shot. You really have to play away from these hole locations and just get yourself on the fat part of the green, give yourself a chance.
Back to number 4 in Inby Park for a birdie and a chance to tie the lead.
Looks like it's supposed to turn right. Wind might have something to say about it, though.
Wow, look how far by it's gone. A difficult final day at the Lotte Championship. A Saturday finish. The final round here at Koalina. IK Kim has a 1-shot lead. But plenty happening at the top of the leaderboard.
Welcome back. We are at the 5th green. Chella Choi for birdie, and Karen Stupples is right there.
And this putt should break to the right, but with this wind howling from the right.
Well,
that was a great putt, Mark.
Yeah,
and this
it really
wind.
was. It really was. And that's an excellent start for her. 2 under after 5. We go up to 6.
And Christy Kerr with her approach.
Was disgruntled after the second round.
Sit down.
Unhappy with her inconsistency, but
Sit. Go in.
you tell him. You tell him, Christy.
Oh,
Came back with a brilliant 67 yesterday that moved her up into the top 10.
chance for a birdie there for Christy Kerr. Let's go to 7.
You know who that is, Michelle Wee at the 7th, putting. That's never going to come close to getting there. Not a good shot at all for Michelle Wee. She might want to try and chip that one if they would give her a mulligan. They're not going to, though, I don't think. So hard work for everybody from every place on this golf course. We go back to 6.
Paula Creamer for a birdie. One of those 2 wins in Hawaii came here at Koalina back in 2008. They've played 3 different LPGA events at Koalina, the Lotte Championship being the 3rd.
Okay, this is IK Kim, who has driven the ball a little bit left here at 5, Jerry.
Yeah, and if she's trying to get this on, she might end up regretting it. I think this is a layup, and Mark, it's going to sound weird, but the perfect layup here is at least hole high, right of the green, maybe a little past, leave a very easy pitch. It's within reach, only 211 yards to the hole, 202 to the front.
No way to get it over the water and stop it, though, is there, Jerry?
No, not, I don't think with a 9-iron.
Her target would be the right side of that building down there. And that's going to be just fine. It's going to leave a tricky, touchy little downhill chip shot.
Michelle Wee now for a par at 7, needs to hit it firm. Not much break to this one. And quickly back to 5 now, Inby Park, her second.
177 and a 7-iron. Oh, and that's a little heavy. It's going to be plenty right, though. I think she was aiming over there to give herself the best chance to make 4, and that's going to be a much easier pitch than IK Kim.
That is actually a very good spot. I think it's a better spot than being in the back bunker today. And we go back to 6.
And Christy Kerr should convert this to get to 5 under. 2 birdies in 3 holes for Christy Kerr. Well, you just never know with these sort of conditions, Kay. Lead at the moment is 11 under par, but you could see it dropping back into single digits quite easily.
Okay, Se Young Kim now with her second.
177 yards as well, almost touching the tee shot tour. She's a very aggressive player. I believe the signal was 9-iron. She might be going at it. She is going at it.
She went after that hard, Jerry. Oh my goodness, what a shot.
That is one of the best we have seen all day.
She is unlucky that that went up onto the second tier and didn't curl back down, but fearless shot.
IK Kim with the lead, but Se Young Kim with an eagle putt when we come back. Welcome back. This is IK Kim's third shot at the par 5.
A dogleg left pitch shot, Mark. If she were to try and take this at the hole off this very tight lie, she'd have to bump it into the hill and it could ricochet left in the water. So she is going to try and utilize the slope right of the hole and behind it to give herself a birdie putt. No other choice here. Again, a very, very tight lie. Just a little area of the fairway that has not filled in very well.
Jerry, she purposely practiced pitch shots downwind at the end of her practice session this morning before heading to the first tee.
Another one of the issues here is the ball is above her feet. You have to be careful not to stick the club in the ground and sort of have the toe turn over. As Jerry said, this one could end up in the water if she pulled it just a little.
No, this is going to work out. This is going to work out. Unless the wind holds it up there, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
That is a really well-designed and well-executed shot.
It's one thing, Mark, to see it, but then it's another to pull it off. Lovely.
So Jerry NB Park now will have her third, which is actually quite a bit easier, I would think, than IK Kim's.
No question. A little more cushion under the ball, direct line toward the flagstick. Still going to traverse down or descend down to that lower level, but she'll land on the upper level. It'll bounce forward, should roll a little left, but the wind's going to, while this ball's in the air, the wind will push it right. It's almost blowing the flagstick out of the hole at the moment. Whitecaps on the lake. It did push it right, way right. Not bad though.
It's not bad. I'm sure she won't be totally thrilled with it because that is not going to be an easy putt.
It's just impossible to be as precise as you would normally be.
Over to 8.
And Michelle Wee.
See all those people following her. She said last year was so appreciative of the support and the love that she feels from her fellow Hawaiians.
Michelle gets to spend some time in the winter here in Hawaii. It's been a 2-week trip this time around, having spent the week last week after the A&A Inspiration. To the 9th.
Sandra Gall, second shot.
Our first look, Mark, at this really challenging hole location back right. And that's actually not a bad leave. She's close to being on the same level and just cut across the green.
We go back to 6.
Chella Choi is second.
Off of quite a challenging lie, but this looks like a good shot, Tom.
Yeah, big first bounce there, Karen, and it almost reaches that bunker.
It just must have cut right through that wind.
Okay, over at 5 now. Se Young Kim. This is for an eagle 3.
Just about every player in this group has stepped off of just about every single shot with these blustery winds. This is a tough one to judge. You're putting straight down cliff, but directly into the gale force wind. In normal conditions without the wind, you just touch this and it's rolling 8 feet past.
Rolled nicely. The wind just wouldn't let it take the break. That is a pretty simple birdie, though, just what she needs about now. So she goes back to +1 for her final round. And once again, at the top of the leaderboard, tied with IK Kim. Over at 7, Paula Creamer's driven the ball in the fairway. This her second shot.
Mark, she was working really hard with Colin watching on, trying to lower her ball flight a little bit. She already has a fairly penetrating ball flight, and probably a reason that she was in the mix for this tournament in these wins.
Okay, back at 5 now. This is Inbee Park for a birdie. This would get her into a temporary 3-way tie for the lead.
Mark again downhill, looks a little down green. I'm having a hard time seeing any break in it. I don't read him nearly as well as NB does. If anything, it should fall off to the right based on the slope, but last hole, her putt did just the opposite.
Jerry, we're showing a graphic that tells us she is 9 under par on the par 5s this week. So she has played the rest of the holes just 1 under.
You look down at that golf ball today, and it is oscillating more times than not, even though these greens are, again, a foot slower than typical LPGA speeds, and that is because of these winds being forecasted and pretty much omnipresent in Hawaii.
Playing for a little right-hand break and got it. She is tough. She is really tough. So Inbee Park back to -11. Back over at 7 now, Hyo-Joo Kim, who trails by just 5 shots. Not a lot in a heavy wind like this. She needs to start making a few birdies, though, and that's a good way to do it right there. That'll be 10 feet for her birdie. Down the hill will be a quick putt because the wind will be pushing it. But still a good chance. Now IK Kim for a birdie, and this would be for sole possession of the lead.
Well, she had to move her mark for Se-Young Kim's putt, so she should have an excellent idea what this does. And like you said, the wind might just keep it from coming left.
Very interesting rehearsal. Takes the putter black about 1 inch is all. And rehearses pushing it through right toward the hole.
Yesterday, a couple times, as Kay noted, got a little quick in that transition.
Oh, we could feel from the booth, Jerry, that gust that just hit.
She has to feel like this might be a little before our viewers' time, but hard luck schlep rock right now from the Flintstones, because every single time she gets up over it, there is a strong gust.
I'm a little surprised, Jerry. She hasn't adjusted her setup and widened her stance just a little bit. Still, very narrow stance for this kind of wind.
Most players instinctively do that.
Oh, she has putted beautifully so far today. A couple of key par saves. And then that nice birdie.
No bogeys yet. That is pretty remarkable for those first 5 holes. We go up to 6.
Chela Choi going with the putter from just in front of that bunker, Karen.
Sensible choice, Tom, because with that awkward lie. So quick, so tough to judge.
Yeah, let's run a little ways back down that green.
Sandra Gall now over at 9 for a birdie all the way across the back of the green as Kay described it, but it is fairly flat. She smashed that one.
Goes up to the little rise that where that hole's located is in the back right shelf.
And back to the par 3/8.
And Michelle Weave for a birdie. Birdie for Weave to get to 4 under, back to even on the round in this final round of the Lotte Championship. Remember, a Saturday finish here. IK Kim has a 1-shot lead courtesy of that birdie at the 5th, trying to win for the first time on the LPGA since 2010. Back with Chella Choi. This at the 6th, this for a par. Oh, it went in. Well, that's a little bonus, Chella. Take it and move on.
Oh, the golfing gods gave her a gift.
Well, you never know, come the end of the day, how important that could be.
Over at 7, you'll remember Hyo-Joo Kim hit a beautiful second shot in here. This for a birdie now down the hill.
Part of a very talented group of rookies that are playing on the LPGA Tour this year.
Got a little left-hand break to it. She didn't see it. Disappointing par there, if there is such a thing today. Sandra Gall now to save her par. Beautiful putt there. How about that outward 9? 3 under par, 33 shots. And does she have the gall to come in and snatch this title away? We will find out.
Very good, Mark. Very good. Didn't go unnoticed. Jenny Shin for a par.
Jenny Shin started off today, Tom. Bogey, bogey, bogey. And what has she done? She hung tough and made a nice birdie at the 5th hole. A good round of 70 yesterday, which kind of snapped a trend that she had of not playing very well on the third round.
And even though this green is quite sheltered, Cakes, it sits lower with the surrounding banking, the wind is still buffeting her quite significantly.
Well, that was the club that worked so well over the first 3 days for Jenny Shin, leading the putting stats through the first 3 rounds, 28, 23 and 26 putts over those first 3 rounds respectively. A couple of rounds of 64 from players at the top of the leaderboard on Saturday. Bernard Langer was round in 64. Olin Brown, who has a 1-shot lead, also carding a round of 64 at the Greater Gwinnett Championship. Coverage concludes tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on the Golf Channel.
This is Beatrice Riccari's second shot. Into the par 4, got off to a tough start. I watched her play the first hole, which she didn't really hit any good shots on, and her last one resulted in a bogey 6. Not a good way to start her final round.
Saw her in the lobby of the hotel this morning checking out. A lot of players taking a red-eye flight tonight to San Francisco to ready themselves for next week's tournament.
Oh
Boy.
That will get through the bunker now. A little bit of a downslope there, but it would have been much worse had it been on the downslope of the bunker. A lot of green to work with. Looks like a gentle trade wind on your screen, but I promise you, if you get out there, it is really strong. Now, Michelle Wee's second shot. Good drive here at 9. Hasn't played a lot of real precise iron shots this week. And there you go again. That will come back down into a little swell and at least get on the upslope. But after a long straight drive, that is really not very good at all there for Michelle. She did hit the nice iron that resulted in a birdie 2 back at 8, and we go to 6.
Well, in the early stages of the round yesterday, Jerry I.K. Kim was saying that she was struggling with the ball going right, and that's what's happened off the tee at number 6.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad a tee shot. Wind caught it, bounced down the hill into the bunker. 121 to the hole. And that's a 7-iron that's going to struggle to get there. It's more than just a gentle trade wind, Mark. I can promise you.
You can see that flag, the way it is moving there. Again, this wind has moved to turn a little more from the north. So if you look at the flag, great worker there, worked by John Del Vecchio, our director, to show us what the north part of this wind does is make it go more across these holes and either dead into or dead against.
A little more across from NB's angle. That was also 121 and a pitching wedge.
He's going to drift back a little. Yes, starting to. Settle right there. And now, Se-Young Kim coming off that birdie on the last hole.
Bombed one here off the tee. Got down to the bottom of the slope, only 98 yards remaining up that hill. Wind howling from the left, a little in as well. Has to start this at least at NB's ball, which is about 15 feet left from her angle. Wind's got it. Pretty good line, a little right of the hole.
Final day of the Lotte Championship, where IK Kim has a one-shot lead in B Park. Se-Young Kim chasing, and Chella Choi trying to win for the first time in her LPGA Tour career. This was just a moment ago at the 6th. IK Kim with her third shot.
Little chip and run up the hill into the wind, not much break.
Steady, steady. And she'll have that left for a par, and she's made some crucial par putts already today. Another one coming up for IK Kim.
Back at 9, remember Michelle Wee played her second shot just long and left. Ball down in a little swale. She's going to chip and run it. That is pretty nicely done. Drops an anchor a little shorter than she wanted, so 5 feet left for her. And back to 6.
In B Park for back-to-back birdies.
Very slow up that hill. Not a lot of break either. Not a lot.
Great chance, and she makes it.
Boy, the way she putts it, that ball just tracks along the ground and never wavers.
3 birdies in the first 6 holes for Inbee Park, and she is tied for the lead. IK Kim still has a tricky par putt to come. Inbee looking for her second victory of the season, and maybe just coming into some really, really good form as the season begins to take momentum. Take a look at that one more time.
And she hit it nice and aggressively with good authority, and it just held that line. Perfect end over end roll, and she makes it. She looks so ho-hum. Yeah.
I think the field's in trouble now, Kay. Really, with the start that NB has put together, she is going to be tough to beat.
Never a bad plan, Jerry, to bet against NB Park.
No, and NB said yesterday the key to her doing well is putting, and for everybody to do well, hitting greens and putting, but clutch putts, she said, are the biggest factor in winning, and she seems to be doing it. This one going a little left.
It was interesting to hear Se-Young Kim's comments, very much like she talked about of the A&A inspiration, that she's not particularly good as a front runner, that she much prefers to be attacking from behind, and it just seems strange to hear that from a player who's so good.
Well, she's just being honest about the situation, and she's still young in her career. She hadn't experienced everything. Karen, what's Chella looking at?
She has 139, and wind is from the right quite heavily, Kay. That shot was quite low.
Chella's been quite impressive today.
Over at 9 now, Michelle Wee to save her par would be a good save. She can't afford any bogeys at this stage, so that's a good one. Tom, I'm with you on Se-Young Kim. I don't ever like to hear a player say they'd rather be chasing than be ahead. You have to be ahead to win the tournament at some point.
And it didn't work for her at the A&A Inspiration. We talked about, well, she's been honest, she's, you know, this is obviously what she feels like, maybe that's her way of dealing with it, but then it backfired. She really collapsed on the back nine and wasn't comfortable at Mission Hills a few weeks ago. IK Kim now for a par.
She's made some clutch saves already today. Some clutch putts down the stretch yesterday in a round that could have easily gotten away from her. This is a big one here. Should go a little right, but the wind is blowing again from the right. Oh, wow. Never did turn, and that's a good 4 or 5 feet remaining.
Watch out for Hyo-Joo Kim. She has this to get to 3 under for the front 9.
She was one of the only players yesterday, Tom, who was bogey free up until the 18th. She finally made a bogey, so she's one of those players that is so steady.
She's played well here in the past. 12th, 9th, and 4th over the last 3 years. Back to IK Kim for a bogey now at number 6.
Yeah, it's only the 6th hole, and this is for bogey, but this would still be considered a clutch putt. This has to be 6 feet. I think this one's just firm, solid, and straight.
Wow, all the hard work and 2 shots disappeared just like that. IK Kim 3 putting from what, about 10 feet, and she slips back now to 10 under par. Inbee Park leading at the Lotte Championship. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour pleased to bring you final round coverage of the Lotte Championship presented by Hershey. It's the final day, a Saturday finish here at Koalina, and it is very difficult at the moment to pick a winner. We've had a lot of toing and froing at the top of that leaderboard, but right now Inbee Park is looking good with a 1-shot lead, but the breeze is up and it is tricky out there. Sandra Gahl 3 under for the day, trying to creep up the leaderboard, but it's not easy when you're chasing former world number 1 in Inbee Park. Let's go to number 7.
Chella Choi now for a birdie here.
Straight back up the hill. Oh, that didn't even have a chance.
Well, you read it right, and she misread it by a foot. Thought it was going to go left. I'm not sure why. So that'll be a 4 for Chella. She continues to trail by 3 shots. Back to 10.
Sandra Gahl with her 3rd. 2 players managed to negotiate the front 9 in 33 shots. Minji Lee and Sandra Gahl.
At least this is 2 holes in a row where she's missed it on the wide side and given herself plenty of green to work with.
Looks like she's going to walk away with a par. Remain at 6 under, tied for 6th.
IK Kim on the tee. Both the other players, Say Young and Inbee, are fine. Hand off the club, doesn't like that one.
No, not for good reason. Well left.
And that disappears back into a little grove of palm trees back there in Ironwoods. There is out of bounds over there, so needs to be careful.
This is Mika Miyazato, who has this to save par. Good front 9 for Mika.
2 birdies and all pars. No mistakes yet today.
Already had a Miyazato as a champion here. There was Ai Miyazato, no relation to Mika, although they do come from the same part of the world, both from Okinawa, Japan. Miyazato won the first Lotte Championship in 2012. Suzanne Pedersen was the winner in 2013, and the defending champion here is Michelle Wie. Well, before she teed off today, IK Kim had a chance to talk to us, and one of the subjects we talked to her about were her travels away from the LPGA Tour.
I like to take trips. I love kind of seeing different things and going to some new place that I'd never been to. And Bali I thought was kind of fun and very spiritual country, so I wanted to go, always wanted to go. And my next list is the Bhutan. It's one of the places that I really want to go. They only accept 5,000, I think, tourists a year. So whenever I get time in December, it's kind of late. But yeah, so I love traveling.
She also traveled a few years ago to Paris to take up cooking classes.
Just take a look at her shot here at the 7th.
She's going to have to cook something up here, and that's going to be fat.
Well, that was really all she was trying to get it out in the fairway. She had almost 180 yards of the hole and couldn't clear that lip with more than a 9-iron.
Yeah, she talks about getting away and refocusing, and able to do that when she goes to places like Bali. This is Chella Choi at the 8th.
So difficult to get the distance right on this one when the wind is howling downwind and only 10 yards on that blunt plateau to work with.
He's trying to get back there as we go back to 7.
NB Park, second shot.
9-iron from 128, ball slightly above her feet. Good lie, though. Starts that one off well right. Is it coming back enough? And is it enough club?
Not too bad. Boy, it was dead on line. She's got on the all-white today, Jerry, and she is going about this in a very clinical way. That's the way she will play this golf course. She won't overpower it. She will dissect it. Se-Young Kim now, her second shot.
3 yards closer, 125. Also a 9-iron. This angle a little more into the breeze. She has to get this. That's turning well left on the wind, left side of the green at best.
Oh
That
boy.
is no good at all. Terrible shot. So a little bit short-sighted, but she will be playing dead back into the wind, so that'll help. But she is now the pursuer. She has been the leader, and now she's chasing.
Michelle Wee with her second at the 10th.
Hole's located on the left-hand side of the green. A friendly hole location, given that the wind is blowing right to left.
Yeoju Kim with a hybrid here at 9 for her second. She is going quietly at -7. 3 under par for her day, a very good score. That is another wonderful shot. Stay there, don't let the wind get it. Look at that little gust, just got it. And she is gonna lose 10 feet with that gust. Still makeable, but not like it might have been. Back at the 7th, palm trees will tell you which direction the wind blows. That's why they lean that way. It's not only today, it's pretty much every day the prevailing trade wind. IK Kim now with the third shot of pretty good length there.
101 yards.
Yeah, I think 115, 116.
Terry McNamara guessing playing at 115, 116. This is a 9-iron. She's going to try and just keep the spin off of this. Start at the right edge of the green, I would assume. That's going to get there.
And more. So it did at least spin back down into the little bowl behind the green, so she'll have an uphill lie. But it's hard work for IK Kim right about now, and she is trailing by 2. And welcome back. While we were in break, this was Se-Young Kim's third shot at the par 4 7th.
Good lie in the bunker. 60% up and down rate for this season. Into the wind. Pretty well done.
She left herself about 7 feet right below the hole. Now live, IK Kim, fourth shot with a putter.
They're speedy down there.
Can you believe it? How about that par? There was not a single good shot on that hole except for the last one.
That's all that matters, right?
Looks like any other 4. See that big double bogey she made back at 6, so to follow it up with a par like that is almost like making a birdie. Over to 8.
And Chella Choi for a birdie.
This putt looks like it should move to the right, but it's quick.
And Just going to get away from her a little bit there.
In B Park now for a birdie at 7.
Overall, not a lot of slope in this green.
But she's putting herself underneath the hole more often than not, where she can control the speed much easier.
Up to 10.
See if Michelle Wee can make a birdie here. At the moment, Kay, it doesn't look like she's going to win the Lotte Championship, but may well be her best result of the season so far.
They're looking for her first top 10 finish to the season, and right now she's tied for 10th.
Kyoju Kim over at 9 for a birdie from about 30 feet. Pretty straight, very slow. And she gave it a smack, had a little left-hand break right at the end there, and certainly not a kick in from that point. 3 feet. Okay, say Young Kim. I would think, Jerry, this is a big putt for her. This is for a par. This is to stay within a shot.
Yeah, she talked yesterday after her round about the pressure she faced a couple weeks ago playing in the final group with the lead at A&A. She said, I'm going to try and just relax and have fun today, but I know I'll be feeling the pressure out there. That pressure is being applied by MB Park, and she's feeling it right here, I can promise you. A little slow.
Not good at all. It was fanned from the beginning, went straight right off the putter blade. She will drop another shot and fall another shot further behind. Those squares aren't good, especially when there's 2 of them around a single number. That means double bogey. She will quickly move on to the 8th. Over at 11 now, Sandra Gall, second shot after a good tee shot.
Looks like she's coming off a slight downhill lie. Easy hole location here at 11 today.
It's okay. Not exactly what she had in mind, but okay. Let's take a look at some of the scores while we have a chance. Best rounds, Yeoju Kim, Sandra Gall out there right now amongst the leaders. Both at 3 under par for the day. Jenny Shin with a +3 round going. That's not very good.
And Christy Kerr continuing to move up that leaderboard.
Shen Feng has been pretty quiet all week, and still, as always, you look up there and there she is at -3. Michelle Wee, just even par for the day. That will not get it done. She started too far behind. Thought Brittany Lidscombe might play a little bit better, but she is 3 over for the day, and Beatrice Ricari at +4.
Well, there's Solheim Cup points on the line, and top 20 finishers, top 20 Americans in the top 20 get points. Allison Walsh will be picking up some valuable points if she can hold it together.
Miriam Lee had it going for a while, and she is now +5 for the round today. You're going to see a bunch of 75s out there. It is a difficult day. And we go out to the 12th.
So Young Lee, and this par 3 has caused a bit of trouble for a few players throughout the week. Looking at the driving stats, So Young Lee drives the ball a long way, driving the ball over 280 average this week.
That's pretty impressive for a 17-year-old.
And we've seen that from a number of the young South Korean players that hit the ball a long way. Could go in. Oh, good try. Say Young Kim was a long driver of the golf ball. Miriam Lee.
It's our first look at the par 5 13th green. Pordenone Patlam for a birdie up the hill. This is a slow putt up and over a ridge.
It's all the way at the back right part of the screen, Mark. Just a little landing area back there.
I'll bet, Kay, before the day's done, if we see 20 putts from down there, you won't see 2 or 3 get past the hole from there. Sandra Gall now at the 11th for a birdie. This one's going to have some left-hand break to it right in the middle of the putt, and then it'll straighten out. dead end of the wind, so even though it's a little downhill, it's slow.
This green, I feel like, is a relatively flat green compared to some of the others.
Oh, she made it.
Wow, Sandra Gall is feeling it today.
That was a beautiful read. She saw the straightening out of that putt at the end before she hit it. That is a really good birdie and a really important time for her to make it. Take a look at that stretch she played there at 4, 5, and 6. Birdie, eagle, birdie. Back to 8.
Here's the leader, Inbee Park.
Pitching wedge, 127 front, 135 hold. Just an easy little one on a great line.
Just running on a little bit, but that is a good tee shot from Inbee.
Beautiful.
Playing the sort of golf today that we saw when she was having that incredible run a couple of years ago, trying to win the Grand Slam. Now IK.
9-iron for IK. Playing the sort of golf today that we saw early yesterday. A little erratic, but you never know. She put on a hard charge that first day, playing in the final group, birding, what, 4 of the last 5. Did a similar routine yesterday when she was struggling, and not all that sure where the golf ball's going today. And Kay, you and I watched her warm up. She had a pretty good warm-up session, although it was tough to tell because they're hitting straight into about a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, she started off her warm-up session with her back to the wind and just taking smooth practice swings to develop some good tempo and not try to fight the wind.
This is center of the green.
Not going to hurt her.
Yeah, stay on the lower level, that's fine.
That's a really nice shot there.
A lot on the line for IK Kim, trying to win for the first time since the Lorena Ochoa Invitational in 2010, of course, that heartbreak at the ANA Inspiration in 2012.
Jerry, I know it's been a bit erratic for Se-Young Kim, but Brad Beecher, we're looking at a picture of him, Inbee Park's caddy. He had something interesting to say in describing Se-Young Kim, didn't he?
He did. He said she reminds him and the other players and caddies of a younger Inbee Park, and that she has length. She's not afraid of anything, never gets upset, never backs down, and can roll the ball on the greens.
Pretty nice to be compared to Inbee.
Yeah, she's a fun player to watch. This also center of the green.
I think she's got more natural length than Inbee when she first came on tour, so she's ahead of her in that regard.
But you feel like she has to get through this hurdle of being able to win when leading heading into the final day, and it seems like it is a hurdle for her at the moment, despite the fact that she's in the early stages of her professional career. Plenty to do when you go down to the ocean here in Hawaii. We're back at the 8th hole. Se-Young Kim has a chance for a birdie.
Should be moving a little bit to the right. Pretty flat speed-wise.
God, that looked very good indeed. Well, she thought it might drop at the end. And is it going to drop? I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Whoa. That's a 3. Remains at 10 under. Chasing Inbee Park. Let's go up to the 9th.
Charlotte Troy with a long second shot. Hybrid club in hand here. Center of the fairway.
From 168 mark. And I'll tell you, she does have a really smooth swing, and that's something I think that most of these players at the top of this leaderboard are doing right now, is just swinging smoothly with this wind.
That is a good point. Jerry was talking about it before. You put less spin on the ball when you swing that way. The harder you hit it, the more it spins.
At the 8th, Inbee Park for birdie.
Looks like it has to go a little left early. Her feet are below the ball, then not much after it. We're back to the right a bit.
She looked like she was actually fooled, Jerry.
Yeah, well, that's wind, not slope.
Coming on for half of the field and finished their rounds today. Just one player has broken 70. That was Hayako Yurihara, who shot 69.
Michelle Wee looking for a birdie here at 11. This is her second shot. Just a shorty at the par 4, and that's not very good. From that distance, that'll come up woefully short for a long birdie attempt. And back at the beautiful 8th.
Yeah, one of the features here are the waterfalls, and there's a gorgeous one there in front of the green at number 8. Okay, Kim going to work here, Jerry, with Terry McNamara.
One of the best caddies in the business. Just came out of retirement from about 2 years of spending more time with his daughters. Great guy Terry is, and he's happy to be on the bag of IK Kim, because there's not a soul around the LPGA who has a disparaging thing to say about this young lady. She got a good read from Se Young's putt. Should move a little right, not as much as it feels like, because once again, I sound like a broken record, but because of that wind.
So beginning to bounce back, a nice hold putt off the green at the 7th. You really felt like that kept the momentum going, and then able to make birdie at 8. So IK Kim within 1 of the lead. Let's go to 11.
And this is Wee for a birdie. A little bit of left-hand break. She hit it way right. And a little too hard, so now she's got some work for her par left. We go back 1 to 10.
And Christy Kerr looks like she's just on a little downslope there, Kay.
Well, that helped with having a lot of green to work with. It was always going to come out low with less spin.
Christy a couple under for the day.
And she was 5 under yesterday, so having a good round 3 and 4.
Okay, Chella Choi now for a birdie at 9. Karen?
This putt back up the hill, back into the wind, and will break to the right. She's hit a couple of iffy putts the last few holes and could really do with making good solid contact with this, and that's something that you've talked about, Mark, with the wind, with long shots certainly, but just equally as important on these putts.
We talked earlier in the week about not leaving yourself putts of that length. It makes it so tiring when you've got 4-footer after 4-footer. Now at the 9th tee, IK Kim.
With this wind blowing, Mark, she knows the head cover is going to be coming off on the second shot, so just try and get this in the fairway.
Once again, hand off the club. Got to be a quick little draw. That will stay out of the bunker.
Missing it on both sides today, not a good sign early.
Actually, doesn't necessarily hurt to have the ball in the rough. Okay, let's take a look at IK's swing.
Looked like at address her shoulders were a little bit open, and so perhaps she just was swinging a little bit along the lines that her shoulder was set up to. She has a little bit kind of a floppy motion at the top, but really nice rhythm in general.
Speaking of nice rhythm, here's some right here. INB Park, excuse me.
That was nice and solid low, turning up the left center.
NB has hit 81% of her fairways, 74% of the greens this week. Nice combo.
Yeah, she hit 10 more fairways in the first 3 rounds than Se Young Kim. Up at the green now, Chella Choi to save her par.
From 3 foot, might move a little to the left.
Oh, barely got in.
She's had a couple of those today.
Well, it's in now. And Se Young Kim, as she likes to do, get over on the left-hand side of the tee to promote a little bit of a draw, get a little extra distance.
A little lull in the wind might help also. Aim it up down the right side.
Yeah, she can just hammer this hard down the right side.
Nice.
Didn't like it. She hammered it though. It was solid.
I don't know why she doesn't like it. It's pretty good to me, Jerry.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Well, Bob Dylan sang the song, "You Don't Need a Weatherman to Know Which Way the Wind Blows," and you don't today at Cololina. But it's still a gorgeous Saturday afternoon on Oahu. Welcome back to the final round of the Lotte Championship on this Saturday in Hawaii. Michelle Wie for a par at 11. Got it. So that's a good one there for Michelle. 2-putt, not quite what she had in mind. Par start to her backside. She needs to make some birdies.
We saw Christy Kerr was bunkered here at the 10th hole. It's been playing as one of the most difficult holes on the golf course all week. Not quite the most difficult today, but that is a par for Christy Kerr, playing as the 4th most difficult on the golf course. But Christy makes a good up and down. Yes, come on, Christy. At the 12th, Sandra Gahl, can she make another birdie? She's given it a good run. So she really has her touch dialed in today to Sandra Gahl. Best score on the course at 4 under to number 9.
And you are looking into the eyes of IK Kim with her second shot at the long par 4.
Because I think 76 are carries like 80.
If anything, it's going to run out of that. We're just trying to get it. Remember our 2 spots, the star at the bottom and the star on the left bottom. I think that's.
I don't mind coming out of the rough, Jerry, on a shot like this, actually, on a day like this.
Stop. I'm sure what you're doing.
Give it a little bit of scoop going up toward that green.
Yeah.
Into the one is fine, but if this is cross like this here,
This is just a cross. The real front is 6 feet thick. You know what I mean? Okay.
Mark, I think that's what Terry's coaching her into doing. 187 yards with her 3 hybrids, same club she had yesterday, and hit it fat, but it should jump a little and maybe run back there. This has to carry to clear the left bunker.
Jerry, no one's gotten it close to this whole location. It's just a matter of can you get it somewhere on the green. That wasn't her best, but that's not bad. I think there's only been 1 birdie here today. Such a tough hole location.
In B Park now from the fairway.
10 yards closer, 177 yards.
Yes. Correct, Mike. Okay.
177 hole. This is her 5 hybrid. Carries 2 hybrids, 2 and a 5. And this one was her father's idea because she hits the ball with such a penetrating ball flight that he thought on par 3 she has no chance to keep a 5-iron on the green. Wouldn't stop that often. Had her put this one in, and her caddy Brad Beecher said, "Brilliant idea." This one a little left of the hole.
Yeah, that's been a popular spot today, and that's a good play right there.
So she will merge her way up to the green, and in the meantime, Se-Young Kim will have a second shot.
No, it's solid right to left. The up one, right? Okay, good imagination with the shot.
That's great advice from Paul Fusco, experienced caddy. Good imagination, good shot. 149 yards of the hole, going with 6-iron. It takes imagination today, Mark. There's not a standard shot being played.
We're taking a look at her final round scoring average.
That's not good.
Cut.
So this is actually fading a little. What a shot.
What a shot. She worked on that shot after round 1 to hit more left to right shots to hold up against that right to left wind, and she pulled it off under pressure.
The hole is always such an important hole, I believe, at this stage of the round, in a final round, which we are in the middle of today, even though it's a Saturday, because it's a long walk over to the 10th tee. This is Michelle Wie at 12.
Defending champion.
Heading straight back into that hard blowing wind.
Okay, Michelle finished at 14 under last year, the record for 72 holes here, 19 under par. That was Suzanne Pedersen. Lead at the moment is 12 under. So it shows you it's a little more difficult here this year. 10th hole, Chella Choi in a bit of trouble here.
Not too bad, Tom. She has a clear shot to the hole, although the wind is blowing from the right. She's going to have to hit a hold, and potentially from this rough she might get a bit of extra run out of it. It is very dry now, this rough.
At least she has, out of this drier rough, Karen, a better chance of hitting that left to right shot than thick, juicy rough.
This is true.
Needed it to kick up there, but it's not going to reach the putting surface. Chella chasing her first LPGA Tour win. She's finished in the top 5 14 times in her LPGA career, 7th year on tour. 3 of those have been runner-up finishes, and 1 of them was a playoff loss. We'll go back to the 9th.
IK Kim with a lot of green between her and that hole.
Yes. About 4 feet of fringe, a ton of green, very slow up to that top level. Terry indicating as it ascends the slope, it's going to kick it a little left. Other than that, not much break. Mark, this is a type of putt, you know, technically just a 3rd shot, not on the putting surface, but a type of putt that a lot of our viewers and maybe some of us might not even get on the top level. It's a small little level up there, and any kind of miss hit whatsoever, bounce early, and it might not get all the way there.
For the viewers who are watching, the dark part of the green, which is the back of the green, there you can see it, quite a bit darker than the front part. That is where the slope is in the green. So the slowest part of this putt is right in the middle. The one thing she doesn't want to do, Jerry, is rip it 5 or 6 feet by. That's a much more difficult putt coming back than if she left it 5 or 6 feet short.
Yeah, putting out of the fringe, a lot of players will give it that little extra.
That is really nice. What a tremendous judge of pace, Kay.
That, Jerry, is a good indicator of where she is mentally right now.
That's Hyo-Joo Kim from behind the 11th green. And nicely judged there also for her. So few of these par 4s offering birdie opportunities today. We really have to take advantage of the par 5s. 13th tee, one of the par 5s, is moved up again today as it was yesterday in the 3rd round. Now back over at the 9th green in B Park.
Also very slow, should move to the right, not a ton.
What a putt. Did everything but go in.
She almost, Jerry, got the 2nd birdie on this hole. I checked the stats. Yes, it's playing the 2nd hardest hole on the course, only 1 birdie.
Rare in the final round of a world-class event to somebody get a skin.
But Jerry, the last 3 times at NB Park was trailing by 2 strokes coming into the final round of a tournament. She won. So how many was she trailing by coming into the final round here this week? 2 strokes. That's a good front 9, 34.
You know who's going to get the skin? Angela Stanford. She birdied the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Well, Se-Young Kim may have something to say about that.
Oh, that's right.
While she's looking at that, we're going to go over to 11. Christy Kerr for a birdie.
Sit, 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 sit.
She has an amazing way of scaring a golf ball into behaving. But that still wandered nearly 5 feet. Past the hole now, Se-Young Kim over at 9.
Left center, left edge and solid. Should do the trick. That's her tendency. In that transition, she almost always aims to put her left and then pushes it a bit, sometimes too much.
Well, that can be devastating. Hit a shot like that. That is almost the most important putt you can have. When you knock a shot that close from a different angle, we'll be able to see it was never on the high side of the hole, low side all the way. They just will not fall in from that side of the hole. So a par for Se-Young Kim when she needed a birdie in B Park with a one-stroke lead.
Chella Choi at the 10th, her third shot. Lovely touch from Chella Choi. She's only 3 shots behind is Chella, and that should keep her at 9 under. Let's go to the 12th and Michelle Weave for a birdie. This for a second 2 of the day.
Should move down to her left.
Well, just in there for Michelle Weave, but maybe a little bit too late. Instead of 5 under, she's 7 shots behind. So I think this is going to help Michelle's confidence if she can have a top 5 finish.
All in all, it's not been a very good start for her this year. No top 10, so...
Well, the final group has reached the 10th tee, and IK Kim 1 shot behind Inbee Park. This hasn't always been the easiest of tee shots for the players this week, Jerry.
No, it's a really tough hole to hit the fairway. Downwind, a little from the right, dog legs right. Almost every player that misses it hits it through the fairway, and then, of course, you have water right to protect against.
You can't...
This one's good.
You can't really see the water from the tee, but you know it's there. That was a gorgeous drive. And Jerry, as we get ready to watch Inbee Park play this back 9, guess who has the upper hand on this back 9 of this 3?
Inbee.
Yes.
I'm reading your mind. Inbee, a lot of times on a shot like this, will try and hold it against the wind. She's done it remarkably well a couple of times today in this very strong wind, but that's risky with water right. It's turning over a little. Should stay on the left side of the fairway. Maybe not. Boy, that ball chases on.
It's going to be just fine.
Finally, Se-Young Kim, who may be slightly rattled having missed that short birdie putt on the previous green.
Once again, left side of the tee box. That's so tempting here to hit more club than you need. You can't carry the water right with even with her length. She could carry it the first part of it, but she sprays it a little further right of that, and it's wet, and she's hitting her second for what would be the 3rd shot from over 200 yards. So just gotta lay back here, take your medicine, if you will, on a layup, and then try and play a great iron shot. That's really good there.
It's probably so hard for a long ball hitter to just sort of put the chains on.
All 3 golf balls in the fairway, nicely away at the 10th. Coming into the back 9 in the final round of the Lotte Championship. Inbee Park, with that 1-shot lead, has a chance to get to number 2 in the world here this week.
Welcome back to the Hawaiian Islands, and that is Diamond Head Crater, perhaps the most famous volcanic crater in the world. It's just a youngster, 150,000 years it's been dormant. People love to hike there. You get up on top, tremendous views. It's called Leahi in Hawaiian, Tom. That means brow of the tuna. You probably didn't even know the tuna had a brow.
Brow of the tuna, like tuna fish.
That's correct.
Wow.
Sandra Gall with a monster putt for a birdie. He's going to take some break. That's pretty nicely judged there.
She's had a great touch on the greens with her long lag putts.
Back to 10.
IK Kim in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, 157 yards away, a 7-iron. Tough to get this close with the wind howling and helping from the right.
Just don't miss it left.
Exactly what she was thinking. That's back of the green.
Just going to test her long putting touch once again. It's getting a little closer to the hole. Okay, just one behind in B Park.
Going with 9-iron from 149 yards. She can get it close, but probably at this point wouldn't be advised to try because you can make a number left of the green or short.
Her rhythm and balance is so good, it doesn't look like any amount of wind would push her over, does it, Jerry?
No, she's always in sync, it appears.
You know what I mean? Just your imagination.
Se Young Kim, next place. She started the day with a one-shot lead over IK Kim. MB Park started the day 2 behind.
146 yards, also a 9-iron. I said use your imagination, and right now I think she's just trying to sense or visualize, get a feeling for something creative here, which might require a little baby fade like she did back at 9 to get it to land a little softer, but it's not likely it's going to come down too softly. Wow. Right into the slope, and that killed it.
Se Young not giving herself an obvious chance for birdie, but we've seen some long shots hold today. What's happening here? Michelle Wee maybe with a friend.
Well, she has a lot of friends in the gallery. And even if it isn't a friend, she's just naturally friendly. And how can you resist saying hi to a cute little one like that?
Well, she has her own day here in the state of Hawaii. Was it December 12th, Mark?
It was. Michelle Wee Day, got the key to the city down at the Alawai Golf Course, right in the middle of Waikiki. Fun place there. It's Chella Choi now, second shot. She's hit 6 of the 10 greens today. That's not bad on a day like today.
This is from 74 yards. Ball was above her feet in the rough, but it is dry.
I'd like to have my own day somewhere. I don't think they'll ever give me one though.
What's your hometown?
Cheam. C-H-E-A-M. Beautiful part of the world.
Wouldn't be Labor Day.
April 1st.
That would be perfect for me. So Young Lee for a birdie at the 14th. Christy Kerr dropped a shot at the 11th, so this to respond with a birdie at the 12th. Oh, a lot of body English in that one. Just going to be a 3 for Christy.
That's a really nice tee shot. The par 3s here are a little more challenging. I think today's hole location there on that right-hand side a little bit easier.
Inbee Park with a one-shot lead over IK Kim. Se Young Kim, the rookie, is in the mix as well. There's Michelle Wee, the defending champion here at the LOTTE Championship. IK Kim for a birdie at the 10th.
Looks a little speedy, breaking slightly to the left.
She had the line.
Michelle Wee hit 2 big ones. This is her 3rd shot at 13. Will it climb the hill? No, that is not a very good shot there. So unless she can make a long one, that will be an opportunity squandered for Michelle. She needed a birdie. Back at 11 now, Chella Choi from just behind the hole, about 12 feet.
And she's been going along quite nicely. Oh, but at this stage of the game, you have to be a little bit more aggressive than that.
Yeah, that would have gotten her to within 2 of the lead. Still has a chance, though.
Back over to 10.
Se-Young Kim, just off the green here, Jerry.
Just off the green, took relief from a sprinkler head, dropped it twice, rolled more than 2 club lengths back down the slope, so was able to place it. Still should hobble early, and this green is, she's putting downwind, can get away from you. Not too bad. Not the best read, but not too bad.
PGA Tour on Hilton Head Island this week at the RBC Heritage. Troy Merritt with a 3-shot lead heading into the final day. Matt Kuchar has a chance to successfully defend. Final round coverage is coming your way at 12:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 Eastern on Golf Channel Sunday. Inbee Park.
Leaf blew right through her address position during the backstroke. She didn't stop, didn't flinch. And another solid par. Those aren't going to hurt her.
Jerry mentioned that leaf. There it is, just blowing right by her. May have gone through her legs. So is 12 under going to be good enough, do you think, Kay?
I like that score. It's awfully hard to make a bunch of birdies. And MB can just protect right now and see what the others do. Jared, it's nice to be in the position where you can play conservatively, and then maybe there's a couple holes on the back 9, those par 5s, where you might be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, but they're not reachable for these players. I don't think even Se-Young Kim can get to 14 or 13, so they have to work for birdies on those holes. 12 under, I would take it right now. This putt for IK coming down the slope, was turning a little left. Tough to trust that right now because that wind is blowing across the line, but Se-Young's putt did turn what would be left from this direction. Ooh, a little extra step there, showing uncertainty.
Another clutch par save for IK Kim. She remains 1 behind. And we'll go up to the 12th with Chella Choi and Karen. You've got to think that could be so costly, missing that birdie chance on the last green.
She's had so many opportunities, Tom. And this hole is a beast yet again today. And when that ball was at the pinnacle of its height, the wind just seemed to knock it right down.
It's going to be okay though. She'll have a chance for a birdie. Quickly over to number 10 and Se-Young Kim for par. Remains at 10 under. She's 2 over for the day. Sandra Gall, best score on the golf course at the moment, 4 under for the round. This is her 3rd to the par 5 14th. And that could trundle back. And that is going to set up another birdie chance for Sandra Gall, who is trying her best to claw her way through. 5 shots back right now. You've got to think that she is in need of a mistake from the players at the top of the leaderboard.
This is a slow one for Michelle Wee, up the hill at 13. Just a little bit of right-hand break, but not much. She overread it. Safe par though, but not what she needs at this stage. So Michelle Wee will tap in there. She'll remain a full 7 shots behind. IK Kim still in the chase. They all trail Inbee Park.
Pleased to be bringing you final round coverage of the Lotte Championship. It's gone 3 o'clock here in Hawaii. It's past 9 o'clock on the east coast of the United States. The Lotte Championship presented by Hershey, where Inbee Park has a 1-shot lead over IK Kim. IK trying to win for the first time since 2010, and for the first time since that heartbreak moment at the ANA Inspiration when she missed that short putt to win a major championship. Can she get it done here on Saturday at Ko'olina? Se-Young Kim, the rookie who led overnight, is a couple of shots back. Paula Creamer, disappointment for Paula today, 5 over, and she has slipped outside of the top 15. Great to be in Hawaii. Tom and Kay here with you. Mark, Jerry, and Karen completing our broadcast team on the island of Oahu. Let's go out to the 11th.
This is NB Park on the tee with lesson driver.
I think you just really want to hit 210, 220 yard shot unless
you can get 80 yards of roll by turning it over with a 3-wood. That went as far as a driver would have gone. And certainly straighter. Up to 14.
Sandra Gall making another birdie. Oh. That was a chance to get to 8 under and within 4 of the lead.
Hyo-Joo Kim with her third shot now. She is at -7. She could use a birdie here.
impressively, Mark, still bogey free today.
Big full swing there. And just a little bit too high. That'll stay right on the ridge though.
Well, coming up Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, it's the finale of Big Break, the Palm Beaches, Florida. Justin against Richie. One of the best finals I've ever seen hosting Big Break. It had a bit of everything. A lot on the line as well.
So we should tune in.
Absolutely you should.
All right.
Chella Choi out at the 12th hole has a birdie try. Let's see if she can make this one, Karen.
And like I said a little bit earlier, you have to think that this is the stage of the proceedings that really start to want to be aggressive and try to give these balls a chance of going in the hole. She's been a bit tentative, and that's not what you need to do if you're going to go ahead and win.
Karen, Tom talked about her large number of top 5 finishes and several times second place. What do you think has made the difference for her?
You know, she really just plays quite conservatively and hasn't quite sealed the deal. And you know, you have to bear in mind that she's been up against, you think about Yanni Sang and in B Park, players like that have come through and won as well. So she's been up against the best, and sometimes that's just hard to seal the deal.
Third shot for Paula Cremo over at 13. Not a particularly good day for Paula.
See if she can get that ball all the way back. Yes, that's what the players are looking to do. Just a small little perch up there where that hole is located.
And that is IK Kim with her second shot. Beautiful backdrop here at 11. That is Aulani, a Disney resort and spa. I am staying over there this week. It's quite a place. If you can't have fun there, you just can't have fun. Great spot for kids like you, Tom. IK again, hand off the club, turning away quickly.
Yeah, she was trying to hit a little baby fade to hold it up against the wind with a 9-iron and caught it a little heavy.
Seriously, Tom, you would love it over at Aulani.
I would. Would I like the character breakfast?
Yeah,
Mickey
you could
and
be
Goofy.
one. You would fit
I
right
think
in.
I could be Goofy.
Here's another look at IK Kim's swing.
Yeah, just right at impact, didn't feel solid. Couldn't really detect anything there. Terribly unusual.
Don't think you'll see that out of NB Park here.
83 yards, bit of a downhill lie. Just going to chase a little 52-degree wedge back there a bit.
Whoa, you did see something like that. That's a surprise.
Goodness.
And that, folks, was, I guess you might call it a semi-shank.
No, it was full-on shank.
It was a
chunk
full-on
though.
shank.
Yeah.
All right. Kay, go ahead and describe this one. I don't want to.
Well, this obviously hitting the hosel. We like to call these a hosel rocket. She does stand pretty close to the ball, and she takes it steeply up. And she also has a little bit of that head turn a la Annika Sorenstam, but that's all very normal.
I must say it was a high shank, though. That's fairly unusual.
It was a fat shank. She chunked it and hit the hosel at the same time. That's rare. Nonetheless, we're making light of it. That is going to be a really tough place from which to get it up and down. Seyoung Kim, on the other hand, staying true to her nature, tried knocking it on the green for the second straight day. Only 43 yards to the hole. Just a basic little pitch shot, landed a third of the way on the green and let it run back to the hole.
Looks like she has a pretty good lie to be able to control it pretty well.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful lie. That will release. And that is nicely done. Nicely done there, 6 feet below the hole.
Good opportunity with NB Park in trouble.
Up at 13, Yeoju Kim won't be aware of what's happened to NB Park back at 11, but she could take advantage of it if she could hold this one, but hit it just a little too hard. Any easier, that one would have taken the break. Okay, back at 11, Jerry, what's NB Park looking at now?
Well, she's just got to hit a great shot and then get lucky. Has to land it well short of the green. Big slope from the right as well. That's going to bounce it left, try and run it through that fringe. And then the slope doesn't end right at the edge of the green. Another knob right there that's going to continue to throw it left. Anything inside 8 or 10 feet will be acceptable. Closer than that would be fantastic. It's got to sit down.
Best you can do from there, mate. That's a great shot.
Trouble for NB Park. She is going to have some hard work, and Seyoung Kim is looking to catch her right here. She could. Back at 13, Paula Creamer now for a birdie. She is not going to catch her at -1. There's no quit in her. She'll keep grinding away. As tough as it is out there right now, it's sometimes hard.
Something she doesn't like about this, perhaps the wind, or sometimes you look at a putt from behind the ball, and then when you get over it, you have a different perspective. You think, now where's my alignment? Where do I want to start this? So take another look. Not the final round she was looking for. And she won back here in 2008. She won at 16 under par. And that was just 3 rounds. That's pretty good playing.
Russell with her third to the 14th. Morgan 5 over par for the day. Well, she has a chance to get one back there.
IK Kim, long birdie try at 11.
Pretty slow.
Okay.
And that was smartly done. She'll stay at 11 under and perhaps will be tied for the lead if NB can't get this putt to fall. Jerry, Tom alluded to the fact, thinking back a couple years ago when NB had that amazing year, winning 6 times, 3 majors, and so much pressure was on her, and she kind of had to remind people that she's just a human, just a golfer, that she has limits. And I think we forget sometimes she executes so well that shot that she just hit, her second shot, I mean, she's human. She makes mistakes.
How about that stat? Yet to make a bogey on the entire back 9 this week. 7 under in total. But in danger here.
Very strong danger. Yeah, okay, you're right. She, because she's so stoic and in control of her emotions on the course, we just think she's sometimes robotic in the way she plays, but she's susceptible to the same nerves, as she says, inside as everybody else. This one may be moving a little right.
What she generally does better than most is she doesn't compound one mistake after another, and she forgets the bad shot and thinks about the next shot at hand.
Up to 14.
Third shot for Michelle Wee. Nice bit of stop on that golf ball, and a chance for Michelle to get to 2 under for the day, 6 under par for the week. That would put her in 6th place on her own. We'll go back to the 11th.
Se-Young Kim now has a chance to make a statement here.
Make it a 3-way tie for the lead heading to the final 7 holes. This one, they're really struggling with the read, and I think it's because it's awfully straight looking. It might actually come a little left.
Jerry, this to me seems like one of the flattest, relatively flattest greens on the golf course, and I think you're right. It's almost like if she went half a step to the right, it might break a little left, half a step to the left, might go the other way.
As a player though, Kay, don't you like to always try and find just a little break in a putt, like maybe inside right or inside left as opposed to straight?
I suppose. Unless you can hit it straight and firm.
She
like
did
that.
play it a little inside right. That is a beauty there. What a time to make a 3, and she knows it. There it is, big circle around it. We'll be back to Colina, final round of the Lotte Championship presented by Hershey.
Inby Park with a bit of a roller coaster putt here, Jerry, at the 12th.
It is a very slow roller coaster because this ball is going to be moving so slowly the entire way, and take a sharp right turn halfway there. Just died on the top edge, similar to that.
If anyone can handle this putt, it's MB.
Well, you can't do much better than that without hitting the hole.
Very nice, getting it into a 3-foot circle.
Telechoy for birdie, Karen.
This one should move left. Oh, I tell you what, that was a good putt. And I read it exactly as she did, so.
Well, she's doing all the right things except pulling a couple of crucial birdie putts. She's just can't seem to get off that -9 number.
Back to 12.
IK Kim trying to break out of that tie at the top. 4 under on the par 3s this week, Jerry, as we can see from that graphic.
Well, it would be unexpected from here. She'll take a 2-putt, I can promise you, and walk away. Not an easy putt. Does slide a little bit to the right. This group has been warned. They were told a couple holes ago that the groups in front of them had been warned. They got on their horses and sped up. This group has not, so they'll give them a hole or 2 before they put them on the clock, but it seems inevitable. This play is not quick out here in this wind. And there's another tester for IK. She's been really good on them today, but she keeps leaving them.
Well, the LPGA Tour adjusted their pace of play policy last year so that you need to keep up with the group in front. Brittany Lincecum at 16th, not having a great day today. And she said it at the A&A Inspiration that she doesn't really enjoy playing in the wind too much, so this event doesn't suit her particularly well. She's 4 over for the day today and back in the tie for 26th. Back to the 12th and Se-Young Kim.
Bobble a little bit, should turn a little left here.
Good drive.
Goodness.
For Se-Young Kim, and she remains at 11 under. There's a feeling, especially with Chela Choi, there might be a couple of players who see that leaderboard come the end of the day as we watch the reaction from Se-Young Kim and feel like, wow, if I had just made a couple more putts, I would have been right in there.
I don't think there's ever a round that you leave and feel like there weren't 1 or 2 shots she could have done better, but a trying day, Jerry.
Yes, well, it's just every one of these players, everybody who competed today, but especially the ones trying to win, in position to win, are going to be so mentally drained tonight. And like you said, most of them are going to be flying a red eye to San Francisco, and I don't think there'll be a lot of eyes that are wide open on that one. It's going to be a lot of sleeping. This is a tough putt. It's only 4 feet, and again, it's just a little slider, but the wind blowing straight across the line, the wind blowing from behind you when you're putting is always uncomfortable on this length putt, on any length putt, but especially one you're supposed to make.
Again, yes, again, Jerry. She's so solid today on all the short putts. Just the one big mistake at the 6th hole.
Feeling like this is going to come down to the wire between those 3 players. And 17 is playing as a very, very tricky hole. 18 has the water in play. Now MB Park has this for a 3.
Just right side of the hole. She doesn't miss many of these, and never when she's in contention. Players in her group are already up on the next tee waiting to hit to try and speed things up to avoid getting put on the clock.
3 threes, and Se-Young Kim already has the driver in hand mark at the 13th tee.
Yeah, it's kind of disconcerting when you get in this situation, so you need to be careful to not get too much out of your normal routine.
Well, and Se-Young's a pretty quick player to begin with by nature. They're not behind because she's taken too much time, I can promise you that. That's up the left and hits solidly.
Oh, goes bounding down the fairway. So she'll be able to get it fairly close to that green.
Sandra Gar, one of those players who at the end of the day may think, wow, if I made a couple more birdies on this back 9. She's knocked it on the green at the 16th, outside chance for birdie. She is currently 4 behind.
That is IK Kim on the tee at 13. Water on the right you need to be careful of.
Yeah, popped it up a little bit, but it's going to be safe.
That landed very softly, so she'll be a long way back. And up to the tee at 14.
Chella Choi just 2 behind Karen.
And this would be a great opportunity, Tom, to try and claw one back. And don't you think that if she could get maybe just 1, maybe 2 birdies and post a number, it would really apply some pressure to that group behind?
Absolutely, she'll be right in there trying to get that first victory. Back to 13.
To Sinby Park.
Up the left edge, needs a bounce to get in the fairway. Maybe not.
That'll be just fine for NB. Third shot for Michelle Wee up at 15, bunkered her second.
And that hole is located just on the green. Oh boy.
No acceleration on that one at all, Kay. That one was almost like she gave up on it. There she is at -5, looking up the leaderboard at a 3-way tie. It's boiling up in the final round of the Lotte Championship. Don't go away.
Hit and dive. Smoking.
A nice flavor of Hawaii. We've enjoyed our time on Oahu this week. Hyo-Joo Kim at the 14th for birdie. Oh, wow. Yes, Hyo-Joo Kim moves to 8 under par. She's only 3 behind, you know. Bogey free today. Only 2 players bogey free today. Chella Choi and Hyo-Joo Kim.
Hyo-Joo Kim hoping to be this year's Rolex Rookie of the Year like Paula Creamer was back 10 years ago. Has it been that long?
That's for a birdie. Sort of sums up Paula's day.
Putter not being very kind. Speaking of the Rolex Rookie of the Year standings, let's take a look and see who's at the top of that board. A lot of good players in this rookie class this year. 2 of them have already won, Se-Young Kim and Hyo-Ju Kim. Arya Jitanagarn, younger sister of Moria. Hana Jang's been in contention a couple times. UCLA Bruin, Allison Lee, Minji Lee, winner of the Girls Junior back in 2012. Good list.
Unfortunately, this is Michelle Wee for a bogey at the 15th. It's not a very good score on this hole for her. Never a good time to make a double, but this was a particularly bad one. And we'll go up to the home hole.
And this is Minji Lee, who is a rookie this year, as we saw from the Rolex Rookie of the Year standings.
So that she won the Girls Junior at Lake Merced Golf Club, where we will be playing Swinging Skirts next year. In the semifinals that year, next week we'll be at Swinging Skirts. In the semifinals that year was Allison Lee, Arya Jitanagarn, Lydia Ko, and Minji Lee.
So you're saying that the Girls Junior is a good indicator of what's to come?
It was that year. It was that year.
Sandra Gahl for a birdie at 16 from long range. Minji Lee, by the way, had 33 shots going out, but struggled a bit coming home. Still going to be a top 15 finish for Minji.
Third shot now for IK Kim at the par 5 13th.
103 yards. 103 yards up that hill into the breeze. Just going to chip a 9-iron, according to Terry McNamara. Don't want to go long.
Pretty small target up on that top tier.
Pretty good shot.
Beautiful, Jerry.
The ball was really on line there, just pitched right behind the hole. That is a good spot to putt from up on top. Se-Young Kim with a club change here.
Well, a little mistake on the layup, and she did lay up. She only had 224 front and could have got it really close, but decided to lay back with a hybrid and fanned it just a bit to the right in the primary cut of rough, 75 yards to the hole. Trying to land it on that middle tier, I would assume, and see if it'll chase up. I don't think you can risk flying it up there. Or can you?
I'm still not sure, Jerry, why she didn't just blast one right up by the green from where she was after her tee shot.
I think it just gets a little narrow up there, and she wasn't comfortable with it. She would have had an uphill lie, even if she did manage to keep it in the fairway. Nonetheless, she didn't expect to miss the fairway with the layup. And be a very good layup here, just 63 yards. Should be able to spin it. That's plenty of spin on it.
That's a good one. 3 feet left for NB Park. By far the best of the birdie opportunities.
Fourteenth hole, third shot for Chella Choi. Right, Karen, she needs to make something happen.
She does. She has 84 yards. Great lie in the fairway. This is low, but it's drifting a hair right, Tom.
You want to keep your shot below this hole if you can. It's going to have a little swing to it.
Make your next round the best yet with advice from thousands of golfers like yourself. Head to golfadvisor.com for course reviews, facility ratings, and assessments for golfers by golfers.
Out at the 13th green now, Se-Young Kim. Put her third shot just over the green by about 5 feet, Jerry.
Yeah, but what is she, 12 feet from the hole, it looks like? It's not too bad. Putting downwind, down green, going to be a little quick once it gets on the green, but you got to be concerned about what it's going to do on that 3 feet of fringe. I definitely like the putter. I don't think chipping this and landing it on, unless you catch it perfectly, is going to be all that predictable. So just try and bobble it through there and get it on the green somewhere in the direction of the high side of the hole. Went left early on her.
That'll be a safe par. But with NB Park putting from that coin right behind where Se-Young Kim is standing, it's likely she will be trailing after this hole. IK Kim also has a birdie attempt. She'll go before NB Park. There she is.
Just a few inches of fringe here for IK, also turning a little left. A very, very good look here, and she has made her share today. And if it does turn out to be her day, Kay and Mark, you got to point back to number 7 where she made the really ugly, dramatic par.
From off the green. And that was right after she had made a double bogey. It looked like she was going to drop another 1 or 2 shots, and you're right. And then it seemed like she's just steadied herself ever since.
Players have been making this putt, Jerry. It is a cup on the right is where you need to hit this one. Maybe just a hair more, depends on your pace.
Yeah, depending on that speed. But I like that line.
It's a good putt for a right-handed golfer, that's for sure.
Little bobble early in that. Just killed it enough. Almost like it was sitting in a hole, Mark.
That is going to leave NB Park with a putt for the outright lead. Chance gone by there for IK Kim, and she knows it.
Jerry, remember, I think it was last year, NB changed her putter to 2 degrees flat because she likes to have her hands close to her body, and it better suited that new lie. Allowed her to have her hands and arms hang naturally, and it's been a pretty good change.
Also adjusted her ball position. She felt like she was getting a little too much shaft lean at address. She moved it up a little bit and started putting like the NB of old. This one is going to move a little left. Oh my.
Alert the media. What a surprise there.
Well, really 2 mistakes in 3 holes. The shank and then that short miss.
NB Park contemplating what could have been. Let's take one more look. Hit the high side of the hole, but it did not fall. 3-way tie for the lead at -11 at Ko'olina. Welcome back to Ko'olina Golf Club. This is Hyo-Joo Kim at the 15th for birdie down the hill. Didn't think there was much break when I saw it come to rest, and it was dead straight. That's a beauty.
That's her 5th birdie on the day.
Back to 14.
Hyo-Joo Kim could just sneak up and win this, by the way.
Very well could.
And now IK Kim coming out of the rough. Not a good layup, as you mentioned, Jerry.
No, just 125 yards, a little far away, but it looked like the signal was a 7-iron. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
Wow. Terry looked unsure. He had the other club out. I don't know what it was, but with this wind gusting up, it probably is the right club.
So basically 120 yards to the front of the green.
Yeah, 119 front, 125 hole, playing, oh goodness, it's probably playing 150 yards right now. She might go back to a 6.
It's the hardest thing in this game when visually it looks so short, but when you take into account the uphill and the wind, you have to add 2 to 3 clubs.
Well, you don't want it coming up short and running back down the fairway. By contrast, you don't want it on the upper tier either. Like that.
Oh boy. Huge mistake. That is going to be so hard to 2-putt from there.
Shall we, as this for a par at the 16th?
last year, around the week of the Swinging Skirts, Michelle made time to see some of her old roommates from Stanford.
Yes, it's easy to forget that Michelle managed to get a degree from Stanford whilst playing on the LPGA Tour. Not an easy feat. And winning a couple of times. Now Inbee Park.
86 yards. One just made a late switch. Carries 4 wedges. Might try and fly this a little past it. With spin, and it's going to have spin. Oh, nice.
That's 2 excellent wedge shots in a row.
Such a big difference in the layout. You know, IK Kim makes that mistake and the ball's gone over the back of the green. Inbee Park has less than 100 yards and she has a great chance for a birdie.
Probably one of the most overrated shots or underrated shots, Jerry, in the game is a proper layup on a par 5.
That's right. Like that her ball or even that pump is fine. It's like 11 o'clock.
Is it
Yes.
more 5 yards?
Yeah, 5. Perfect. 44 pin.
44 yards the hole from Paul Fusco. I agree. Davis Love's late father once told him, when you're going to play safe, play it safe. So if you're going to lay up, make sure you get it in the right position. Don't take it for granted when you're hitting a club that you'd rather hit more. This is would be a tough shot without the wind. The wind blowing in from the left is going to allow this ball to sit down very quickly from inside 50 yards. It's going to need to.
Well, she's lucky that didn't go any further. Still a less than satisfactory shot from that distance.
It's okay there.
This is Chela Choi up ahead at 15, second shot.
86 yards, this wind off the left, downwind, so hard to stop it with only 4 yards of green to work with.
Oh, Karen, that's too bad. That's a good 40 feet away.
It's for a par for Sandra Gull. She was in the green side bunker and hit a very poor bunker shot.
The 17th today is playing really tough. Much tougher than it has the last couple days.
Well, it's a fairly difficult hole location and the wind is coming hard from the right.
Hyo Joo Kim is mounting a late charge here. Back-to-back birdies coming to the 16th.
Oh, and she gets a helpful kick. That could have kicked left into the bunker, and instead another birdie chance.
Now, Hyo Joo Kim has a chance for a birdie. This was on the last hole right before she made the birdie putt. Getting some treatment on her leg.
I wonder if she got bit by something. To me, that would seem like an insect bite of some sort that you're trying to reduce the swelling, but don't know for certain. We'll see if we can get some word on what that is specifically.
Interesting. Hasn't seemed to have hurt her golf.
No.
Now, IK Kim, this is so difficult here, isn't it, Jerry?
Oh my goodness, she gets to stand in 2. She is Houdini. This is so quick and it's going to turn so far to the left. And the further she hits it when it gets to that lower tier, the further she hits it right, the more it will turn.
Looks like she's aiming about 20 feet to the right.
Yes, she makes this, she gets a free game.
Nice.
Still needs to sit down.
Yeah, that looked like pretty good speed. Kind of expected it to end up down there.
IK Kim has made so many good putts for pars today, and she's got to make another one there at the 14th. At the moment tied with Se Young Kim and Inbee Park, both of whom have birdie putts to come. Inbee with the shorter birdie putt.
Over at 15 now. This is an adventure, to say the least, Karen.
It really is, Mark. It's downhill, but it's going to break quite significantly to the left. The wind's going to keep pushing it, and it is from long range, but she's missed from shorter. You never know. Maybe this could be the one that gets her going.
Still, though, 4 or 5 feet would be pretty good from here, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, no question. I mean, that literally, she aimed that a good 10 feet right of the hole.
Oh, went in the old hole. And that is a 4-footer, back to 14.
Se-Young Kim for birdie.
Turning left. She gave up on it early.
Oh, the early walk. She was trying to walk it in.
I think she gave up on it and then saw that it had a chance and was hoping, but she knew she didn't hit it.
No harm, though. Although you'd like to take advantage of the par 5s. And she hasn't taken advantage of either one here on the back 9. Fortunate that neither her fellow competitors have either.
But now Inbee Park has an opportunity for birdie. Before that, it'll be IK Kim trying to save par.
She has gone to the well a great many times today, and it hasn't run dry yet. This is a big ask right now. Huge gust of wind putting up the slope into the breeze, leaves blowing everywhere.
Have to put that all out of your mind, pick your spot, and trust it.
Yeah, just like the ball striking in the breeze, you have to hit a solid putt here.
Crucial. Another crucial putt.
IK Houdini Kim. You called it, Jerry. Wow.
Yes, if she does end up winning, the word destiny will be used a great many times in describing the victory.
Well, she escaped there, having been in all sorts of trouble. And now Inbee Park still has a chance to edge ahead by 1 shot.
Little right drift to this putt, Jerry.
Yeah, a little bit. It's all about speed. The wind's going to accentuate the break a little bit. There's no question she's feeling the nerves inside. Doesn't demonstrate it. You never know by her body language. But she doesn't miss a putt like she did on the last hole and then have the shank before that 2 holes earlier without feeling it a bit.
Oh my word, that looked in all the way. It's not the Inbee Park that we've come to know on this back 9. She's really given the others an opportunity, and they have managed to stay tied with Inbee. Both of them up on that 15th tee, surprised, I'm sure, by the gallery's reaction.
This looked like a good putt. It just was carrying a lot of speed and was a harsh lip out. She did miss it on the low side.
Se-Young Kim's already on the tee here now, getting ready to go, trying to close the gap with the grouping ahead.
And the gap is closed. The group ahead is on the green. They are considered in position, so they might go back into normal routine now. And Se-Young doesn't appear to be hurrying. It's a very short walk, of course, from 14 to 15. Try and power this one up the left edge.
She likes it.
Well, the wind's got it going a little right. Good bounce, though. Oh, that's fine.
People standing back, please. Just stand still.
Up ahead to 16.
And this is Christy Kerr. Christy inside the top 10 and a pretty good run of form, having won the Kia Classic at Aviara a few weeks ago, and that one of the best we've seen at the 16th. Should yield a birdie for Kerr, would be her 4th birdie of the day. Back to 15.
IK Kim now with a driver.
Starts up the left, fading back toward the center. Actually, a little too far now. Needs to sit down.
That will bound on through into the rough and sits up like it's on a tee. Up to 18.
And So Young Lee trying to save par. The goal is to be in the top 20 this year, and right now she is tied for 16th. A fine performance from So Young Lee. Inbee Park with her tee shot at 15.
Turns this one up into the wind, so it held its line nicely right down the middle.
It's Michelle Wee up at 17 from the left rough, drove the ball through the fairway. That is a beauty. Just won't quite get the bite that it needed coming out of the rough, but a chance for a 3. Back at 15 now, Chella Choi. For a par, no, that was left all the way. What a time to miss one. Back to 16.
This could be all important for Hyo Joo Kim. This to get within one of the lead.
It's for 3 birdies in a row.
Oh, steady on. Can get away from you pretty quickly here on these greens with the wind blowing in the final round of the Lotte Championship. Inbee Park, Se Young Kim, IK Kim, all tied. Heading towards a conclusion here in Hawaii. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour bringing you final round coverage of the Lotte Championship presented by Hershey. Inbee Park, IK Kim, Se Young Kim, Hyo Joo Kim, Chella Choi, all with a chance of winning here on Saturday afternoon.
This was just a moment ago. Chella Choi for a bogey. Watch this. Doesn't even touch the hole. So she missed it twice from 3 feet or less. What a time to make a double. Yikes.
Yeah, I will. When you're ready.
There's how they stand. 3-way tie. Park, Se Young Kim, IK Kim,
Yeah, little
and
one.
that is IK. Second shot here at 15.
102 yards. Very good lie, as you saw, Mark. Not an easy shot with that wind blowing straight across from the left.
Not easy to get the ball close to this hole location.
Well, this isn't. He's going to have to do it again.
She's getting used to it by now, but I'm sure it's still not comfortable.
Hyo Joo Kim trying to save par at the 16th. She's 2 behind. And that is a 3-putt bogey for Hyo Joo Kim, who had such great momentum coming into this par 3, but now she falls 3 back.
And her first bogey on the card. Pretty remarkable play up to that point.
And now to the third Kim. None of them are related, but this is Se Young. Her second shot at 15 from the fairway.
89 yards. She can trap a little wedge here and get it to really spin and sit down next to it.
And only about 4 paces beyond the bunker to the hole.
Yeah, it's not easy. Can be done. This is right. That's not a good shot.
No, too
gonna
much
get better,
effort. She was working hard on that one. You could see it's going to get a little better.
Jerry, I think it's just a visually intimidating and uncomfortable shot, even though it's a short yardage.
Well, anytime the hole's placed on the what I call the upwind side of the green, which it is, even though it's essentially center, but on the front, that's the left side.
It's Michelle Wee now for a birdie over at 17. Great view from behind. It's wide left all the way. Doesn't break as hard as she thought. So even she having trouble, having played this course more than anybody else in the field. Inbee Park now at 15, second shot.
52-degree wedge, 81 yards.
was a perfect opportunity for her to stuff another one tight.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Ciao, mate. Good luck.
So good with her wedges, and that's what the best in the game are. They hit it reasonably long, but they take advantage of that length by hitting good wedges.
In B Park, Se-Young Kim, IK Kim. It's a three-way tie when we come back to the final round of the Lotte Championship. We are back at the final round of the Lotte Championship presented by Hershey. Things are really heating up. Three-way tie. This is IK Kim for birdie at 15, long range.
Yeah, down grain first, up grain there, then down grain again. And she's gonna have to do the magic one more time.
It's been quite a performance on the second putts. Up to 18.
Sandra Gall to finish it off with a birdie. This will be for a round of 68.
Well, she bogeyed the 17th, but all in all, a really nice day of golf.
Se-Young Kim will try her chances now here at 15. This is not an easy one either, Jerry.
No, I'm having a tough time getting a read on it. First instinct was it had to go a little left, but then the back of the green now, and I don't see much. It's not exactly a real quick putt putting back into the breeze, even though it is a little downhill.
I like that little right to left break.
We get there.
That was a really good putt. So that'll be a safe 4 for Se-Young Kim. Doesn't phase IK Kim much. Nothing does. I guess after you've missed a one-footer to win a major championship, nothing much will ever phase you again. Take a look at Se-Young's reaction. She thought she made it. Missed on the high side, had a chance all the way. In B Park with a chance to take the outright lead.
And that would be a special putt here, even though it's a very makeable putt for MB. But to shake off the memory of those last two short misses, this one turning a little left.
Did she do it? Oh, just a little too hard. Little speed. That one turns right into the hole. Up to 18.
And Michelle Wee playing the 72nd hole. No driver needed here. That would be too much. Not going to be a successful defense for Michelle, but it's going to be her best finish of the year as long as she doesn't have a disaster here at the 18th.
Yeah, you just want to hit like a 230, 40-yard shot. Everything gets about a 40-plus yard roll down that hill.
So one Jerry was talking about 5.5 feet it looks like. This for a par for IK.
And a little slippery.
Time and time again she's delivered.
Almost every time. Once from off the green.
Set up left center.
She did it again.
It's just well, incredible actually.
Good to see, really good to see.
In B Park, still with a little work left. Not much, but a little.
Only made more difficult by the fact that it's the 69th hole. And she's tied for the lead. Just left of center and solid. I don't think you can miss it.
I was going to say, she looks to me like she's trying to find a little break in it.
You make it sound easy, but you look down at that putter sometimes and it's not exactly steady.
That's
okay.
Where you rely on those countless number of 2, 3, and 4 footers you've hit in practice successfully.
Errant drive for Hyo-Joo Kim at 17. This is her second. Karen has made it over there.
Having to send this one way out to the right of this whole location, drifting back left.
Oh, ricochets dead left. Could have kicked right, but did not, and that's going to find its way all the way down into the swale. So she's going to have to make some magic if she's going to save her par at 17. Three-way tie still.
Back in the final round of the Lotte Championship at the 16th, the par 3. Hole-in-one prize here. Nobody has managed to claim a brand new 2015 Acura TLX. We've got 3 shots remaining to drive away in that very nice car. And that is brought to you by Acura of Honolulu. Se-Young Kim now.
Made a late switch from a 4-iron to a 5-iron. If you remember back 24 hours, these 3 players all hit it to within very makeable birdie range. Much tougher shot with today's hole location.
Easiest place to putt from is short right of the hole.
This is left edge of the green. That's not terrible there. Not great, but not terrible.
It's not going to be a very easy putt, but it's fairly manageable.
Only 1 birdie among these 3 players on the entire back 9.
That was Se-Young back at number 11, where she almost drove the green.
Let's quickly go to the 17th.
Third shot now for Hyo-Joo Kim.
Was sitting up lovely in the rough, but being below the hole was tough to get that one close.
Yeah, she's got a lengthy par attempt now, Karen. Not at all what she had in mind. After the tee shot, we go back to 16.
And IK Kim.
I think she was between clubs here, between her stronger hybrid and this her 5 hybrid, going with the 5. And
It's a tough call, Jerry, because ideally she'd like to stay short right of the flagstick, but she doesn't want to come up too short, wants to give it a legitimate opportunity.
And if she wants to try and turn it over to hold the line, that will knock it out of the sky. She does not have the length to try that.
Oh, and hand comes off the club again.
Yeah, it wasn't solid, but it's a good line.
It's going to work out just fine.
Oh, that's going to be really good. That's a great miss.
IK Kim, who has lived through the LPGA's horror story, if you will, of missing that short putt to win a major championship. You can't help but root from IK Kim to win again, and she has a chance to do it, but she's going to have to take down the very talented rookie Se-Young Kim and this lady in B Park.
Going with her 5 hybrid, the exact club her dad talked her into putting in the bag for par 3 shots just like this. This is getting over to the right side of the green.
Advantage IK Kim. On this very, very tricky final day. The final day here at the Lotte Championship. A Saturday, of course. Wednesday to Saturday event. The second of those in 2015 for the LPGA. They started with one at the Coates Golf Championship. Michelle Wee for a birdie. Unfortunately not on the right tier at 18. IK Kim, even par for the day, and she has hung in there like a cat with 9 lives. She's managed to stick around, and just time and time again she's made those par putts to remain in the hunt. And IK Kim up to the challenge presented by Prudential. And there have been so many of them today. This was at the 7th, excuse me, coming off that double bogey. She falls from off the green. And it looked like she was going to have a really bad run there, but managed to keep it intact. She birdied the next hole. This was at the 14th hole. And then a moment ago at the 15th for par. And there were others as well on this final day. She has hung in there trying to get the victory. Up to the challenge presented by Prudential.
I mentioned it the other day. She spent last week, went to Vegas to revisit an old teacher that she'd worked with on her putting, Sam Park. obviously. Some things clicked.
And that putter has kept her in it on this final day. She joked yesterday that she doesn't gamble anymore. She lost $100 when she first went there playing roulette and will never gamble again.
Yeoju Kim for par. Karen?
This putt should be really fast. I just watched Christy Kerr and Paula Creamer blow theirs way past from similar lines.
Oh, it is fast, it is true. What a 4. So Yeoju stays within 3 shots of the lead. Probably not going to win this championship, but
Racking up another top 10 finish.
absolutely. Back to 16.
And Inbee Park will be first to go.
Going with putter from just barely off the edge, of course. Why wouldn't she? Just a little uphill and a swing left early. Will continue to die a little bit left after that.
We've seen her do it before, Jerry, when it looks like she's just going to walk away with a 3. Suddenly Inbee Park dumps one in for a birdie right down the stretch. There's IK working on something with her putting.
Not sure what.
Has she done it? Has she done it? Not
Gorgeous
quite.
putt. It looked like IK was working on trying to keep that nice triangle and get the proper sort of tilt and rock with the shoulders, having that club across her chest.
Should be a 3 for Inbee Park. She'll remain at 11 under.
Se-Young Kim will be next, and this is the first time all day she has chosen to pitch it or chip it from off the green when she could putt it. And I like the play. It takes out the majority of that early break that'll swing it right. And conventional wisdom always was, if you want to get it close putted, if you're trying to make it, well, fly the ball on the green and pitch it. She's trying to make this flagstick removed. It's going to roll a little right.
I agree. I like the play, Jerry, but it's weird when you haven't done it all day to suddenly choose this way to hit the shot instead of the putt.
Was into the green and just stubbed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like you kind of want to keep going with what's been working.
Well, she doesn't change her game plan for the situation. She sticks to what aggressive golf, and that was aggressive in the hope of trying to make it.
Maybe just coming into the grain a little bit. Just caught it a teeny bit. Well, just checked on her and sat down. She would have liked a little more hit and release.
Well, IK Kim has a chance here to move ahead.
A good chance. Maybe a little slippery. Not too bad. It's going to turn a little left. Can't remember her last makeable birdie putt. Birdie opportunity. It's been a while.
Last birdie she made was at the 8th.
This one will move from her right to left. Just a little bit.
You just have a feeling it's going to come down to one shot, and this could be the difference maker.
Never moved much to the left.
But now the pressure is on Se-Young Kim to remain tied with Park and IK.
Is it feeling a little tenser out there, Jerry, or has it been pretty much the same atmosphere all day?
Well, it is definitely a little more tense right now. It's been tense every hole for IK Kim, trying to struggle for par and getting it done. This is the first time in a while Se-Young has really had to work for one, and it's not an easy putt breaking away from you. but 70th hole of a championship. NB trying to be, NB and Se Young trying to be the first players this year to win twice, playing against, you know, all fellow countrymen. It's pretty intense. Yeah, none of them demonstrate it, but you can tell. You can tell by the body language and post-shot reactions just how intense it is.
Money right there.
So the youngster stays in touch with the two elder stateswomen. Should be routine now for IK, but nothing, I suppose, is routine at this stage of a championship.
No, the length she probably still has nightmares about.
Yes, it was that length putt that kept her from winning a major. Hard to believe, hard to watch. And hard for her to get away from it, unfortunately. Three threes for the final group. At the 16th, they move on to the very tricky 17th hole. We'll take a quick break.
Welcome back. 71st hole of the championship. Se Young Kim on the tee at 17.
Wind whipping from the right. She clubbed back a little bit. Didn't like the contact, but it's on a decent line up the left.
It's going to end up down in that rough. Just depends on the lie, Jerry.
Really important hole here, Jerry. You'd love to make a 3 if you were one of these players and take a one-stroke lead going to that 18th if you could.
Yes, indeed. With that front left hole location, though, it's going to be a lot easier to give yourself a chance at 3 from the fairway, and one of the toughest fairways to hit out here. This one starts on the right side.
That's going to hold its ground and be nice, Jerry. I like that spot right there. Good flat lie. And NB Park will be next. Bunkers on the right are no good.
She looks like she's going to try and take him on and carry him.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah, it seems like a weird play. She doesn't need that at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the advantage is.
She liked wherever it went.
Well, it's a beauty. Hopefully she gets the number that she wants for a second shot into the 17th.
So 2 balls in the fairway. 1 in the left-hand rough. Se Young Kim in the rough. There's Ai Miyazato, who just finished putting out. She hasn't had a great day. We go up to 18.
Hyo-Joo Kim with her second.
Left herself a long way back. It's from 168.
Well, pretty impossible to keep it on that lower level with that club coming in, Karen.
Yeah, she hit a 5-iron, Kay.
Good look back at that bogey at 16 that took her out of potentially winning this championship, and it would be her second victory of the year. She won at the JTBC Founders Cup. NB Park is a winner already at the HSBC Women's Champions, and Se Young Kim, who won the second event of the year in a playoff at the Pure Silk Bahamas LPGA Classic.
5 different Koreans have won this year on tour. There are currently 34 Koreans playing on the LPGA Tour.
Kerr now with her second to the 18th.
She has 138 off of a downhill lie, and even though she's significantly closer, this is still not easy. Just have to try and take advantage of that slope if you can, and hope that you've adjusted your club just right.
Maybe land it like 4 or 5 paces on. Oh yes, Karen, something just about like that.
That was a tremendous shot, Kay.
A little pep in her step as she walks up the 72nd hole, the winner of the Kia Classic, her first victory since the Kingsmill Championship in 2013.
This was a moment ago at 17. Chella Choi for her birdie.
Just made a terrible double bogey at the 15th.
What a game. You miss it twice from inside 3 feet and hold it from 20 down the hill.
It's the kind of game that's going to drive you crazy, right?
Eventually.
Time now for the shot of the day presented by Volvic, and the award goes to Chella Choi. This was at the 3rd when she was beginning to make a run early in the day.
No green to work with.
Boom.
A little assist off the flagstick.
Chella Choi with the shot of the day presented by Volvic. But I think it's going to be another near miss for Chella Choi. There have been so many. She's had 27 top 10 finishes, 14 top 5s, and I think it's going to be 15 come the end of the day.
Out at 17 now, this is the situation Jack Nicklaus used to love. Playing first into a green like this, put the pressure on the other players. IK Kim next.
It's only 123 yards. Breeze in and from the right, mostly from the right.
Jerry, the only way players have gotten it close here today at 17 is to hit a little holding sort of cut into that right to left wind.
And she has done that every time it's needed. Not always pull it off, but she has always tried it and hit a few beauties in doing so. Like that. Ooh, thought it was going to be better. Thought it would land softer. Still a great shot.
It's a nice shot in its proximity, but that is a very speedy putt from up there.
In B Park now. Rewarded with a driver by getting a little bit closer to the green. I'm not sure it's much of a benefit.
Well, it's 102 yards. What she did, though, is she hit about a 3/4 driver. That takes a lot of self-confidence to ease up on a driver to keep them going through the fairway. But just a smooth little pitching wedge. It should stay pretty low. Big gust right when she took it back. It's got that going left.
Oh,
that was a huge
wow.
gust at the wrong time.
Bad timing.
But a good lie. That's the good news, and playing a little bit back into the wind, so it's going to be a toughie, but not impossible. Let's take a look at her swing here.
Always known for that slow take back. You said a la Kenny Perry. Real vertical. Kind of flattens it out a little bit on the downswing.
Now, Se Young Kim with a totally different shot from the left rough, Jerry.
The wing.
86 yards. Tree not really an issue thanks to the wind. Otherwise, she would have to play it a little right of the hole. Should bring it back in.
The way it looks like it's more in the way than it is.
And she's narrowly going to miss it on the right. If she took a direct line.
Sit down. Sit. Sit.
That's a jumper.
Oh, that's up where the hole was yesterday.
She will have to muster every ounce of talent she has to two-putt that one from up there. So IK Kim in the best shape, Se Young Kim, with a putt of at least 55 feet when we get back to the Lotte Championship. Welcome back. Final round of the Lotte Championship, heating up in B Park with a tough bunker shot at 17.
Short-sided, only 40% up and down ratio this year.
0 for 2 in sand saves this week, and she'll struggle to change that stat.
Bad timing to miss the green, Jerry.
Bad break on the wind. I'm not going to lay that one on Envy because she doesn't hit shots like that in that time, and that wind gusted big.
Hyo-Joo Kim to finish with a par.
Her first putt, tragically short of the hole. You'd have thought it would have got much further, but obviously very slow from the back of this green because that second putt wasn't overly aggressive either.
It's going to be a round of 69. That equals the low round of the day. 69 from Ayako Uehara, 69 from Hyo-Joo Kim, Sandra Gahl, and Shen Chen Fang.
Okay, back at 17, I thought at first glance his putt was 55 feet. Now I think it's about 54
and a half. Very fast downhill initially, or pretty much the whole way down green, downwind.
She will run to the 18th tee after 2 putts if she can do it.
Hit it like a 4-footer.
Oh, it broke right off that ridge. She did not see that at all, and that is going to be a very tough spot there. Not at all what she wanted to do. She had to get that ball down to the hole.
These greens and conditions can make you look foolish.
She'll get a look at IK Kim's putt, which is on a fairly similar line, but still, that's not the kind of par putt she wanted. Up to 18.
And Kristika to finish with a birdie.
This putt breaking to the right.
Actually, it defies logic there, Karen. It kind of goes away from the water a little.
It'll be a top 10 finish for Kristika. Let's go back to 17.
IK Kim now for a birdie.
Oh, this would really shrink up the hole for Se-Young Kim in NB Park, and could be ball game if she makes it. I don't see much breaking it at all.
That was wide left all the way, and that is going to wander way by. Not a good effort there. So a little bit of nerves I think we're seeing here now, Jerry.
Yeah, without question.
Take a look at that one. That is now 6 feet by the hole. NB Park, of course, has, I'm going to say, nearly 18 feet for her par, and Se-Young Kim probably 7 or 8 from above the hole.
Who would have thought they all three would have testy, lengthy par putts? Back in the fairway, Jerry thought we'd see them have this length putt for birdie.
Yeah, it is final round, 17th hole. They are human. This one's got to go a little left.
Oh, did she do it? NB Park, what a putt for a par. Looked like she was maybe going to be trailing. And now, conceivably, if the other 2 putts don't fall, she could be leading. What an up and down out of that bunker.
And that's typical NB. Just never out of it. Doesn't let one shot affect the other.
Jerry, this has not been a very easy putt to read today.
No, the read I have is just based on IK's putt, which had way too much speed, but it just seemed to drift an inch to the right. The problem is it's so hard to put a positive stroke on such a defensive putt here, because if you do miss it, it doesn't take much speed, as IK demonstrated, to run 6 feet by.
She is clutch. Amazing golf. Amazing. 2 putts you wouldn't have given either player a chance to hold, and they both have.
Nice to see that raw emotion, and probably more relief than anything that she got away with a par on that hole.
One looked like it might just fade a little bit to the right at the end and sneaks in the right corner. Good pace. Thank you. Okay, IK Kim now trying to stay in a three-way tie for the lead with 1 hole to play.
And she go to that well one more time.
No, that was probably the worst stroke we've seen her make all day long, pulled all the way, so she will fall a shot behind.
That's her second 3-putt today. The double bogey that she had was a result of being too frisky on the par putt and missing the comebacker. And as we've seen, very hard to make a birdie on this last hole.
Take one more look back here at 17. Inbee Park had the first par putt. This from 18 feet. Little breaker to the left. She makes it. Unlikely par with a tough bunker shot. Then Se Young Kim. She makes it right on top. And IK Kim failed to do so, and she now trails by 1. Two-way tie at the top as they play 18.
And as we mentioned before, the key here, Jerry, is not to go too far down this fairway.
I think the players have learned, Jerry, by now that there's an extra 35-40 minimum rollout.
Yeah, depending on the ball flight, absolutely. You're just trying to sense it and feel it here. You can't play a number. Down the right center. It was hit solidly.
Well, she gets right up and just hits it. Not a lot of...
That's got to sit down. That is in the water.
Goodness.
What a mistake. Well, we talked about it. The ball can just run out down there, and that just looked like it pitched on concrete. I'm not so sure she has any idea. Her hopes of the tournament have fallen into the bottom of the water.
Zero idea that's in the water.
Wow. And the others won't know either.
This one's hit very solidly as well, and it's going to run for a while down the middle.
And they are absolutely getting turbo kicks here.
Watch out, that could be in the water too.
That goes a little more to the left where there's a little more run out and thicker rough that's held that up. Se Young's went in further to the right where the water cuts in a little shorter.
And that opens the door up slightly for IK Kim. But you got to think Jerry's going to need to make a birdie here.
That's exactly what she's saying. She has no idea either of those balls are in trouble. One in the water, one not. That's down the right side. A little softer, should be fine, but it is going to get a huge kick.
A huge turn of events. That massive first bounce for Se Young Kim. The ball finds the water. Advantage Inbee Park here on the 72nd hole. Se Young Kim walking down the 18th hole. There's a bit of glare into their faces, and she is trying to find out where her ball is finished. She's going to get some bad news very shortly that the ball is in the water.
You see a little flag down there where the marshal has indicated where it crossed, and that's not a good feeling.
Especially when you've just striped a tee shot, Jerry, under enormous pressure.
Her caddy knows. You can see the look on his face walking up there, seeing no ball. She's figuring it out now.
Yeah. She'll come in.
Inbee Park, realizing that you can see, look at the angle there. That ball could easily have found the water if it had been 10 yards to the right.
She had about 10 more paces of rough that slowed it down just enough. What a shock.
break there for Se Young Kim.
Crossing over to stay here.
She'll have the option to take it as far back as she wants, keeping the point across the line between her and the hole. Get out of the thicker rough.
And they'll have a little bit of a wait because Chella Choi and her group still have to finish up. This is Chella for a par.
She hung in there so nicely. 2 birdies on the front 9, par after par on the back 9 until the dreaded double at 15. And made a nice birdie at the 17th. All in all, it'll still be a good week for Chella, but not the win that she was hoping for.
We've talked about it, haven't we, many times. Her father there on the bag, and he wants to be there for her first victory, but she's been out here for 7 years and it hasn't come yet. She's had so many chances and fallen at the final hurdle. Now, will he get the chance to see his daughter win on the LPGA Tour whilst carrying the bag?
Might end up having to do it from outside the ropes.
And maybe that'll be the tonic. Maybe that will be what Chella actually needs to take the pressure off a little bit. Jenny Shin still has to finish up, and it's a disappointing day for Jenny Shin. She had a chance to win here with a good final day, but she fell back early with 3 straight bogeys right out of the gates. 4 over par for this final round. Jenny Shin will not be collecting her first LPGA Tour victory this week, I'm afraid.
Calls Southern California home, lives in Buena Park, which is outside the LA area.
And she had a chance to win the swinging skirts last year, playing in that final group with Stacey Lewis and Lydia Ko. She says she prefers playing in California, so next week, who knows, it could be her week.
Held her own against some good players. She's been working on her game relatively recently with James O, who, if my memory serves me right, was at the time the youngest to win on what is now the Web.com tour. And then gravitated from competitive golf into teaching.
76 on the final day for Jenny Shin, and that puts her at the moment into a tie for 7th. Meanwhile, Se Young Kim back there figuring out the numbers.
Beautiful finishing hole. Dramatic in the way it looks, and very difficult in the way it plays.
Yeah, you wonder what else Se Young Kim could have done there. I mean, obviously she could have hit an iron, but she just had no idea that ball was going to explode on the first bounce.
Maybe a lot of players, when they get in contention and haven't been there a lot, that extra adrenaline kicks in, and perhaps she just had a little bit too much hit on that shot. Or, like you said, maybe should have gone to a 4 or 5 iron, but it really seemed to run 50, 60 yards.
And Inbee Park almost had the same problem, and the amount of experience that Inbee has in that sort of situation, and she almost made the same mistake. Chella Choi, it'd be nice to see her finish up here. Doesn't want to give away any money on the 18th hole. It's going to be a round of 72 for Chella Choi, the bogey at 18.
Puts her in a tie for 4th place finish with Hyo-Joo Kim. And Chella had a tie for 4th place finish at the Australian Open earlier this year. And not a good day for Ai Miyazato. Played quite nicely yesterday. And that's been her issue, is actually the 2-foot putt. She's okay 3 foot and longer, but really having a hard time with the real short ones.
Yes, it's been a struggle over the last few years for Ai Miyazato, who is going to finish inside the top 20, and that will not be her best finish of the year. not good times. Back to the fairway and IK Kim. And this needs to be really good, Jerry.
Well, she has to get fancy here. She has 153 yards of the hole, 147 front, down gale right now. No chance of hitting an iron, I don't believe, that can hit on the front level and stay there in birdie range. So she is going to try and do something with her 5 hybrid and get some elevation to it and maybe work it a little bit left to right back into the wind and take a chance here. It's 6 iron would be plenty of club, maybe even 7. She's got to try something to get it to stop. It's right of the hole.
And ending up right of the green. Yeah, that came in so hard, and it's towards the back part of that bunker near the lip. That will be a testy shot.
Well, these two really handing it to Inbee Park. And at the moment, seemingly all Inbee needs to do is make a par, but you never know.
That's not a given.
Se-Young Kim has taken her drop. And it will be Se-Young, I'm assuming, to play next here, Jerry.
It is.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. 1 10 10. You can pitch this 1 10. Alright? Good shot.
Really needs to use her strength and her ability to compress this ball to her advantage right now.
Not easy. Downwind, it's going to have so little spin on it. Downhill lie where she dropped it right at 127 yards. It's going to take some magic just to leave it on that bottom level and have something you can make for par. It is a club she can spin, though. Pitching wedge is a signal, so she can open it up a little and really give it a little extra, create that spin. Oh, that's low. It needs to go.
It did. It just did. Yeah, not easily makeable, but there's a chance.
Well, she still has a chance. I mean, she can make 4. But that was close. And probably the most ugly swing that we've seen her make today. Now, Inbee Park needs to find the green here.
116 yards with a gap wedge, ball lying down green, so you can generate a little more spin and a pretty decent lie. She has to get this in the air, though.
Sometimes the wind knocks these down a little bit.
This will be fine. Oh, wow. I did not see that.
No guarantee of a 2-putt par from that position.
Se-Young Kim looking to win for the 2nd time in her short LPGA career. Started the day with a 1-shot lead at 12 under. Inbee Park was 2 back. IK Kim just 1 behind. And it's been a real battle against the elements and each other on this final day of the Lotte Championship. Still difficult to predict a winner. I think Inbee is in the driving seat, but she has to negotiate that ridge and the green. Se-Young Kim, if she doesn't win here, will look back at that tee shot that finds the water.
She has a veteran caddy on her bag, and I'm sure he gave her the number that she needed to hit off the tee, and no way of knowing it would roll out that much.
Inbee, the winner in Singapore at the HSBC Women's Champions.
Bogey-free for 72 holes.
Yes,
remarkable week of golf.
It was an incredible stretch. She played 92 consecutive holes in all without a bogey.
With the warm aloha, Inbee Park.
And she will try to avoid a bogey here. 2 putts will give her a really good chance of winning the Lotte Championship without a playoff.
Jerry, is IK going to be first down there?
She is, and it's toast. Just to get it on the green and take a great shot, she has to really modify her backswing, pick it straight up, try and still keep that club face open. So basically break the wrist of the hands like the club's coming straight to your nose, and then chop down on it. Try not to hit the hosel and just get it on that top level, let it run down. It's a horrible break.
Looks like she's thinking of a place right there just on green, just past the fringe.
IK Kim, who looked in tremendous position walking down to the green at 17, but 3 putts led to a bogey, and now this is somewhat of a disaster. Can she provide the magic once again?
This is a shot you just don't practice very often, this awkward stance with water looming. All in all, not too bad.
Well, she will have to hold that putt and hope that both Inbee Park and Se-Young Kim make bogey.
It's all about getting comfortable and getting your legs out of the way. Slide that club underneath. She braced herself nicely.
Well, technically, Inbee Park has a putt to win the championship here, Jerry, but I'm not so sure she's thinking about holding it too much.
You never know with her, but the easiest way to try and 2-putt, the easiest way to 2-putt is to try and 1-putt. It's not an easy putt, obviously down to that lower level. Might go a little left early, then it'll hit the tier and slide right and continue to slide right. It is a putt, though, that I understand Hyo-Joo Kim left some 12 feet short a couple of groups ago.
She did. So it's a very hard putt to figure out the correct speed.
There's one person who you'd put your money on figuring out the correct speed, Kay. We're looking at her.
Yes.
Now it begins to trundle towards the hole. Is it going to be a piece of magic on 18? Well, that is tremendous from Inbee Park. She is going to wait to tap in. Remember, it doesn't guarantee her the title just yet. But it does mean that IK Kim's run of not being able to gain a victory on the LPGA Tour will continue, having had such a great chance here in it all the way to the 17th.
Yep, that 3-putt at 17 did her in.
Must be a great sense of satisfaction for Inbee Park on what has been a tough day, but it's not over yet.
Se-Young pitching this one, wisely so. Didn't do too good last time on 16, but this one's not lying into the grain, an easier pitch.
Well, she has to hold it. And she has held it. Remarkable. This is a gutsy young lady who is going toe to toe with one of the best players in the game.
Can't help but thinks she deserved that after the bad luck off the tee shot.
Now IK Kim for a par, but it is going to be mistakes at 17 and 18 for IK Kim that proved to be so costly.
You said it about Se-Young Kim. We talked about how Jerry talked about even when she shot her 75 at the ANA, she never gave up. She kept battling. And if you have that kind of intestinal fortitude and strength, it's going to pay off in the long run.
Well, IK Kim taking her time here, but she does have a little room to play with. She's going to finish third, even if she misses this putt. And that is not what she wanted. 5-5 finish for IK Kim, and she is not able to get the job done. Inbee Park will tap in, and we will have a playoff between Inbee Park and Se-Young Kim at the Lotte Championship. Both finishing at 11 under par. A round of 73 for Se-Young Kim, a 71 for Inbee Park. They'll head back to the tee at the 18th hole and do it all over again. Wow, what a finish. Remarkable. Chipping in to get into a playoff with Inbee Park.
And her third shot barely cleared the water. I love her emotion.
They will sign their cards, make sure everything is correct, and head back to the 18th tee. We've got a playoff coming up at the Lotte Championship. We are back on the island of Oahu this Saturday evening on the east coast of the United States, but the final round of the Lotte Championship, and it's not over yet. Inbee Park and Se-Young Kim in a playoff here. Wow, what a finish. Se-Young chipping in to force a playoff with Inbee Park.
What she had to her advantage on that last shot is the putt or the remaining shot didn't matter, so it was sort of that real true match play situation. She had to make it.
The 17th hole was one of the most difficult on the golf course today, and really anything could have happened here. Inbee Park was struggling to make a par. She holds that putt for a 4.
All three players were struggling to make par. Left her birdie putt this far short. Starts leaking to the right. Just catches the edge.
Se-Young Kim made 4, Inbee Park made 4. Se-Young Kim was in the water off the tee at 18 and just was short of the green with her third shot. Inbee Park, it's a tremendous putt for birdie on 18. This was to win, and it wasn't far away from going in.
Perfect example of her talents on the putting green with difficult putts.
And then Se-Young Kim had to make this to force a playoff, and in it goes.
I just love the sheer joy and that reaction after a disappointment 10 minutes earlier, discovering that her ball was in the water off the tee shot.
And Gallo behind. Well, some might call it justice because she didn't expect the ball to go into the water off the tee. She didn't hit a bad shot. Inbee Park's ball could easily have gone in as well.
Absolutely not a flinch, no reaction from Inbee.
Stoic as usual. And they will scoot back to the tee at the 18th. Se-Young Kim has been in 6 playoffs in her career on the LPGA and the KLPGA. She's won 5 of them and lost 1. Inbee Park is 3-2 in playoffs, so both players have had plenty of experience, but you would think that Inbee Park may have the advantage just because of the fact that she has so much experience on the LPGA Tour and playing at such a high level.
Definitely. When you've won 13 times and you have 5 major championships under your belt, there's really nothing you haven't seen, and she's won in every manner. She has that confidence of being in the highest pressure situations and pulling it off.
Play 18 2 times if necessary. If we are still tied, we'll come back, play 16, 17, 18 in that order. Say Young, I'm going to let you draw first.
That is Bo Reed.
The order that we'll play in.
From the LPGA.
You're first? Okay. Just make sure you identify your golf ball.
18, 18, 16, 17, 18.
I'd have to say right now in this very moment, though, I'd put the advantage to Se-Young Kim, because she thought perhaps she was out of it with the ball in the water, and then to have that big swing in her favor, making the chip. Now she also doesn't really have anything to lose, because she's going up against the person that, quote, should win.
Well, Karen Stupples will be calling the shots for Se-Young Kim, and I suppose, Karen, now there may be a little bit of indecision in her mind, because she hit the club that she thought was right the first time around. It went into the water, and now she's got an iron.
And I think that definitely is the prudent play. The thing about this tee shot is that you want to get it down there as far as you possibly can, but you know, as we saw before, the water is just too dangerous. This really is the safe play. This is going down the middle of the fairway, Tom.
And as you can see, it's landing much softer, not as hot a club as she hit the first time.
And Jerry Fox will be calling the shots of Inbee Park.
Well, Se-Young carries a 4-iron, hit her only hybrid into the water in regulation, so that was her next longest club. Inbee, now her longest iron's a 6-iron. That's not enough, so I think she's clubbing back to the 5 hybrid here. Starts off down the right side, right center, maybe right edge of the fairway.
And these two have played every single hole of this championship together.
So I'd say by now they're probably pretty comfortable, and especially for Se-Young Kim.
Equidistant off the tee in this first playoff hole of the Lotte Championship. Back in the sudden death playoff, the Lotte Championship, Inbee Park versus Se-Young Kim. Both of them in pretty good positions off the tee. Right, who's first to go here? They have to toss a coin here, Karen?
Judging by the marks on the fairway, Tom, it should actually be Se-Young Kim. She's just 2 paces back from the painted mark, and Inbee looks like she's maybe just 1 pace back from that painted mark. I have Se-Young Kim at 154. Such a tough shot, this, with the wind howling. So difficult to judge.
So 148 to the front, needs to just carry it a couple past that front number.
The one thing that is in her favour, Kay, is that she is on down grain grass, which will make contact really very easy.
Both played this 18th hole and 1 under.
She's using an 8-iron.
You like that?
I think the 8's plenty.
Yeah, that I would say. She probably wants it this about 150, and it's probably only playing 130, 135 maybe.
expected that finish. A chip in the playoff, and she holes out.
They don't even know it for sure.
One of the most exciting finishes we've ever seen. And two remarkable shots from Se-Young Kim.
And how about MD? She hasn't done anything wrong.
Good night, says Se-Young Kim.
They don't even know for sure. They're asking, is it real? Did it go in?
Yeah, Brad was asking me if it went in 1 yard closer, 153. This is a 9-iron, and my goodness.
Well, she's got to hold this to continue the playoff.
Got a chance.
It's not going to be, and it's over. Se-Young Kim, is she going to bring some excitement to the LPGA Tour or what?
Just about the most dramatic finish to a tournament I've seen in quite some time.
Maybe that we've ever seen. You think of Kari Webb holding out at the ANA Inspiration, but this young lady chipped in and then holds out.
Thank you, Sam.
It took phenomenal shots to beat the great MB Park.
All right, Se-Young, the craziest ending. Is that the craziest ending you've ever experienced?
I don't believe that, but what happened there? I'm still unbelievable right now. Yeah.
The chip in regulation, you had to be as nervous as ever over that.
Yeah, so I try to only focus on getting the hole because I don't have a chance, only that chance, so only focus getting the hole. So did it, yeah.
All right, go get that lucky ball, and you got a lot of people waiting up for you. We can't believe what we saw. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This was it.
154 yards, 8-iron.
She was just about as stunned as everybody else.
She doesn't even know it's really in. You can't tell by that crowd reaction if it's just close or if it's in. Yes, it was a thing of perfection.
It rattled around. And boom, there it is.
Wow, she had 3 lip ins in the last 3 shots. That par putt at 17 that caught the edge and went in. The chip in regulation, and now that hole out from the fairway. She's going to carry these memories with her for many, many years. I guess there's no doubt she can win from the lead.
Right, she came into this final day with the lead, saying that she feels more comfortable attacking from behind. Well, she's managed to get the job done when leading heading into the final day, but it took some heroics at the end. Next week, we head to the swinging skirts. Se-Young Kim will go there as the big story, and she deserves it, picking it out of the hole. Well, well, well. We'll try to catch our breath here as Se-Young Kim celebrates her second LPGA Tour victory, and she moves to second in the race to the CME Globe, facing Lydia Ko, who will defend next week at the Swinging Skirts. Our coverage will begin on Thursday, live on Golf Channel. Wow, what a finish. I think we'll be seeing that highlight for many days, weeks, months, even years to come.
worth the wait.
Thanks to our entire crew here at the LOTTE Championship, led by producer Beth Hutter and director John Delvecchio. From Kate Cockrell, Mark Rolfe, Jerry Folks, Karen Stupples, and myself, Tom Abbott, it's goodbye from the LOTTE Championship, where Se Young Kim holes out in a playoff to win at Koalina.
This has been a presentation on the only worldwide network dedicated to the game, Golf Channel, part of NBC Sports.